I guess we can talk about that weather. Damn, it's cold outside, huh?
What cold?
Not here. It's tropical all year around.
Well, fuck you too.
What's the lowest? What's the lowest point that I got over in?
Indonesia.
Fuck, was it Ethiopia? Indonesia. Okay.
The lowest it gets is like what, 21 degrees? Ooh, so cold.
I mean, okay, it's way colder than what we get. Are you going by Celsius or
Celsius? I don't know that this Fahrenheit American bullcrap.
Oh, okay. Fahrenheit over here, it's the coldest it gets is 40 right now.
That's below.
The coldest it gets here, it like regularly gets to like below 10 degrees here right now. It's insufferable.
Okay, yeah, the coldest it gets over where you are is 70 degrees, so fuck you.
What, does he live in Arizona or something?
No, I'm talking about you, Micah. You fucking live... It's 21 Celsius to 70 Fahrenheit. That's warm.
Yeah, it is.
It's warm over here, too. Isaac just thinks it's cold because he hasn't adapted.
Look me in the eye and tell me that 40 degrees is not cold.
It's not. You're just weak.
Dude, I would kill for a 40 degrees day right now. It's regularly far below that in Illinois because our state is bipolar, and every winter it's the ice age, and every summer the going outside is like willingly putting yourself in an oven.
Yeah, well, try living in Florida where the weather is comparatively way nicer.
This was an interesting intro, you know.
Yeah, fuck it, that's what we'll use.
Wait, really?
Right.
Are we actually
fuck
using
it, we're
that?
doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Castaway Anime. How about that weather, folks?
That weather.
How's the weather?
Awful,
So
horrible. I want to die.
Chill weather. I like it.
You know, it's the only thing chillier than the weather outside, depending on where you live, unless you're Micah, who lives in fucking Indonesia. The only thing chillier is the new season, the winter 2022 anime. The new year has begun, new anime, and it's been not exceptional.
I was gonna say, you said that the season was cold, but I'd say that my reaction towards the season was cold because I want to give this season nothing but the coldest of cold shoulders. It is awful.
Man, it's really fun how I joined you guys in the podcast for the last season, and then we just never aired that one, so I get to join you officially this time, and it's like the worst possible season.
Well, you've already been established in the JoJo podcast. Speaking of which, guests, please introduce yourselves.
Hey, it's me, Armagon.
And it's also me. Oh, we're talking over each other.
Evan, you're not a fucking guest. You're one of the hosts.
Oh.
Okay, anyways, it is me, Mykurr, just doing my thing. I don't know a better intro than that.
Okay, well, and once again, you are joined by your hosts, NeonManta and Crunchy Bagels.
I've finally resolved my identity crisis. At long last, I've settled on a username again, changed my Discord name from literally Evan to Crunchy Bagels. It's finally consistent.
That's
and it's way better, honestly. Now you gotta answer the $1 million question. Are you coming back to YouTube?
Unironically, yes. I literally, right before going to this podcast, I was literally editing a video like 10 minutes before I got into Discord for the podcast.
Based.
Amazing.
Tell the nice viewers at home, though, what, 137 subscribers you have?
It's actually 200.
Oh, sick. Give us a peek behind the curtain, what you're working on.
It should, if all goes to plan, which I'm not 100% sure it will at this point because it's going to be a lot of work, but if all goes to plan, it'll be a 5 or 6 part series on a show that's not very good, but also not horrible. So I'll have a range of like positive and negative things to say about it, to hopefully get some sort of diversity in my criticism, and it should be a good time, hopefully.
I was gonna say a 5 to 6 part series, like goddamn, I know you've been geeking out over Sangatsu no Lion.
It's not that. I'd have to rewatch. Dude, I'd have to rewatch Sangatsu no Lion like 3 times to ever give that show justice. I am going to wait a long time before I review that.
Speaking of YouTube, I too am working on some shit. I'm working on the Deathloop review. I hope to get it out by the end of this month.
How's that
Oh,
EX
hell
playthrough
yeah.
going? How's that EX playthrough going?
That's a stream thing. That's different. That'll happen. That would have happened tonight if not for having to record the podcast. I guess we should timestamp this for the nice viewers at home. It is currently January 21st at the time of recording. Not every new show this season has come out. We are gonna miss something like Shenmue the animation, but methinks we can sleep at night without having to see Telecom butcher something else.
Oh no, not Shenmue.
Finally, what we've
Shenmue's
all
so
wanted.
funny. Shenmue 3 came out after years of people wanting it, and then it sucked, apparently.
Yep.
My
I mean,
only
was Shenmue ever
exposure
good? I
to
never really
Shenmue.
liked the games.
It was like
My
a
only
cult classic
exposure
after
to
the first game.
Shenmue is the Super Eye Patch Wolf video. That's all I know about it.
Same.
I only know about Shenmue because
Uh,
of Project Exxon.
I watched the donkey videos on Shenmue 1, 2, and 3, and the zero punctuation reviews of both games. And the consensus is they were cool at the time. They were like the top dogs of graphics when they came out. And now they've kind of aged horrendously.
Yeah, I guess that's
The graphics still look good for the time, but the gameplay is like awful. It's just kind of like a bad game. Anyway, back to anime.
Yes, anime.
We're
Yes,
already trying to not talk about the season because none of us like it.
We have at the time of recording, I don't think all of us have seen Mike, have you already seen every show from both blocks?
I mean, yes, but I have a lot of 10-minute drops.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
So
Talk about
it's on that.
10-minute drops. Talk about 5-minute drops.
It's the Attack on Titan Demon Slayer season featuring some other shows.
Yeah.
I've seen talks about something here and there. I've seen some clips of other non-sequel shows, but it's gonna be a Attack on Titan Demon Slayer season kind of season.
It's funny.
Which is not great
It's
for
funny.
people like me who have not seen the shows yet.
See, it's funny because you say you've seen talk about other shows here and there. I've only seen talk about one show, at least on my timeline, which is My Dress Up Darling, which it just keeps flooding my timeline with fan art. So let's transition into that.
Okay, all right.
A little rockier than I was hoping for, but yeah, let's give the game away, I suppose. My Dress Up Darling. Is it alright? So I know we all haven't. Well, most of us haven't seen the shows from both blocks yet. I'm just gonna shot in the dark. It's probably show of the season.
It's like
Okay,
the
should I
best
make
season.
a very
I
hot
disagree.
take to that?
Sure.
Like, honestly, it's overrated as fuck. Like, oh my god, I don't see what everyone else is seeing besides like the godly presentation with the animation and all of that. But other than that, I do not vibe with it at all.
Well, you see that little icon on your Discord that looks like a phone with an X next to it. You can go ahead and press that button right now. Out, get the fuck out right now.
It's
We will not accept Maureen Kitagawa slander on the timeline.
No.
Good
That's
sir.
the thing. That's the thing. Like, the thing is, the problem I have with the story and all that is that she carries the show so hard. Because I hate everything else about it. Like, the main character, I hate how he monologues his life. Like, oh, I'm so
What the
lonely.
fuck do you have against Gojo?
Oh,
Did
Gojo's
you-
like... Sorry, I just prefer like
Gojo's
more
one of the
active
fucking
protagonists,
better
but,
characters.
Like, oh, he's so passive. He's such like, for lack of a better term, he's such a beta. Like, oh, I hate him so much.
No. Gojo is not a beta. Gojo is a fucking man.
Like, well,
He is accepting.
oh no, my grandpa doesn't know I don't actually have friends. Oh, I'm just sick of this
okay.
loser bullshit.
Okay, hold on. I did see some criticism levied toward the show about not just this show, but this
the genre.
I'd say, I guess, yeah, subgenre of the main guy gets main like shy shut-in guy gets the attention and possibly attraction of this flirty, outgoing, sociable girl. And we see it, and the other comparisons are like Nagatoro, Uzaki, Takagi, that kind of show.
Yeah, it is.
See,
I was definitely reminded a lot of those two shows while watching it, at least on a structural level.
I don't
We
want to
have-
compare
we
it to
have-
those shows though, because
We
a
have
show
been getting a lot of
I
those-
wouldn't compare.
like
I
a
was gonna
better
say,
show
we
I'd
have
compare
been
it
getting-
to- Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. We have been getting a lot of those shows lately, but I think the difference here is that, like, the main guy himself, he's not, like, socially awkward. He just has, like, a really niche hobby that he just doesn't know how to talk to it about anyone. But, like, other than that, he could probably just talk fine.
Yeah,
I
I, guess
mean,
that's not wrong.
He's definitely
it's all-
socially reclusive. He doesn't
He-
talk to people. He doesn't have friends. But he doesn't seem to get like completely. Well, actually, no. There's at the beginning of episode 1. There's like this random guy like hits him on the back of the shoulder because he thinks he's someone else, and Gojo just doesn't know what to say. He just completely freezes up.
I mean, to be
So-
fair, if you got hit in the back of the head like that,
I don't know. A bit
He
of
hit
a
his
toss
back
up.
or his head. I don't remember that. I don't remember that part specifically.
yeah, he got hit by some dude.
I'm
Like,
sorry,
you
I'm
know,
just
so,
sick
like-
of this kind of bullshit, you know, like the loser main character and all that. Like, I'm just sick of it. Please,
But, like-
no more anime. No
Okay. All right, hold on. First off, let's get something clear. Gojo is not a loser.
more. I mean, he's passionate. Okay, that's cool. He has like this passionate hobby. I guess that's pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure that's
Well,
the standard.
it's
now
not just
for,
that
like,
he's-
those kind of.
it's not
hobbyist
just that he's-
anime.
No. Okay. Hold on. Like fucking Senpai from Nagatoro is a loser because he has no fucking spine.
Okay,
and
that's
he lets
true.
those bitches walk all over him. Sakurai is even like this is like as much as I'll defend Uzaki-chan because I didn't like that show. Sakurai, the dude from it, he wasn't a loser. He had a job. He was sociable. He just preferred to hang out like by himself sometimes.
I mean,
like,
I don't mind
to do
Sakurai. I actually
solo
liked his
activities.
character in Uzaki-chan.
Sakurai is awesome.
Yeah,
But then again, it's me. I like Uzaki-chan a lot, way more than I should.
I mean, Uzaki isn't even
And
that
then-
bad compared to that genre of anime.
and then Takagi-san is like Nishikata from Takagi-san. He's not a loser. He's got friends. He's actually pretty sociable. He only gets flustered around Takagi because the whole premise and conceit of that show is that he's trying to out tease the teasing master, and then they end up developing this mutual crush in the sense that neither of them knows that the other likes them, but he gets so flustered around, and those feelings are awakening inside of him. So he's not a loser.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, putting that show along with like the other like of this subgenre has always been weird because like it's established early on that like it's not the same. Like they're already sort of friends. It's not like they just met.
I'm pretty sure for Nagatoro, it's literally they just met, and then like she just decided
Mhm.
I'm gonna bully him for the
Yes.
rest of this show.
I'm going to make him cry, and then people will somehow still like me.
Yeah, and it works somehow.
It was a
Well,
bad show. Now going back to Gojo though, he is not a loser. He is just a little boy. He was just a little boy who got groomed by his grandfather into loving dolls, and then he gets shocked back into reality by his black-pilled childhood friend into conforming to gender norms. But then he had the willpower to, even as a high schooler, to rise up and be like, "No, I like these dolls. I'm not going to change who I am."
See, that scene was always.
And even though it
that scene
even
was
though it leads
always
him
so
into a
funny to
loner
me.
life.
That scene is so funny to me because like I get that children can be petty, but that was like really petty.
I know, right?
She-
Like,
I'm
just-
sure the context, we're missing some context for it.
But from what we have right now, she literally just said, "Wow, you like dolls? I hate you." Like,
I'm
kids
willing
are
to
fickle,
buy into
man.
that.
Like I thought he was gonna be like bullied or something, but like no, this is just petty.
This is almost a little more believable. Like, I mean, yeah, like almost. Well, actually, maybe not believable. But the right term I would say is interesting because the fact he's kept it hidden from others because he doesn't want to get called out like his friend did back when he was a kid.
Yeah, I
I
hope
mean,
the context shows up. I don't know.
I guarantee you that the childhood friend does not get to have that much of an influence on the main character's life and then never come back or be inserted into the show again.
Oh.
I've not read a lick of the manga, and I'll bet you a fucking $1 million.
Yeah, obviously, that kind of shit always happens. And it's like probably some dumb shit like, oh, I actually liked you, but you spent all your time doing dolls and shit, which is why I hated it and all that. Probably some
You spent all your time playing with dolls, or you should have been playing with me.
Yeah, probably some dumb shit like that. Ugh. I hate this show.
Why do you hate it?
Honestly, I wouldn't hate it if
that-
it wasn't flooding my timeline, but God.
Okay, no, you should
Oh
be
my
you should be grateful. You should be on your knees praising the Lord that fucking Marin Kitagawa fan art is flooding every top to bottom inch of your timeline.
I mean, I don't
Because
mind Marin.
Jesus H. Christ, Marin Kitagawa is, without exaggeration, one of the hottest anime girls that ever came out of Japan.
I mean,
Jesus
I don't disagree
Christ.
with that. Like, the animation is like, just accentuates her even more. Like, beautiful. But she's just carrying the whole show with her.
To
Like,
be
how
honest,
does
it's
her
not a
shoulders
show.
not get
I
stiff
wouldn't
from
say she
carrying all
carries.
of that?
See, like
It-
I would take that as more of like criticism if this was like a deeper show, but like granted, we've only seen like 2 characters, so I'll reserve judgment. But this isn't a show that like needs to be like carried, you know?
I mean, I
'Cause
guess
it ain't-
so.
It
I
ain't
mean,
that
at
deep.
least personally, I
ain't
I
that
think
deep.
Gojo is a good character. I mean, I think
Like,
his
if-
whole thing
I
of
like him
like
too.
Hey, listen, like
being
I would understand if Marin was like a good character and everyone else was just insufferable, but like that's not really the case.
Well, there's only 2 characters, so I guess it's too early
Yeah,
to
there
tell.
are.
True.
Yeah, there are only 2 characters, and what else that I like about Gojo is that he's even though we did say I did go as far as say he's not a loser, they still paint him to be kind of not necessarily spineless, as in he's allowing people like people like going back to Nagatoro. Like the way that Nagatoro bullied Senpai so like vehemently, and he just like allowed that shit to the point where he started crying, kind of like a little bitch, because like she was his junior, and like sure her words hurt, but like you're really gonna let that happen to you? You're not just gonna like walk away. At least with Gojo, like at least people aren't like bullying him, but they're low key taking advantage of him by saying that they all gotta leave and they can't do the work, so they let Gojo do it, and he doesn't begrudge them for it, and he does agree to do it because it helps him stay out of people's way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like when Micah says that like he didn't like Gojo as a protagonist, I completely don't see that perspective, because what endeared me to the show at first was that I thought Gojo was an actually, immediately it might be like
This
a bit
guy has
much-
goals. He has
Yeah.
aspirations.
It might
I
be
mean,
a bit
I
much
guess
to
so.
say interesting,
And
but he leaves
I-
he leaves an impression.
I don't
And
know.
what I
'cause,
do
like,
like,
Yeah, compare him to like a fucking like the dude from Quintessential Quintuplets. I can't tell you a single thing about his personality.
Okay, but like the thing is, yeah, like while you guys are comparing it to like Takagi-san, Uzaki, Nagatoro, that's not what I'm comparing it to. I'm comparing it to Runway, Smile Down the Runway, and because like the similar premise of like a guy helps a girl with like dressing up and all that. Like I just think it's more similar to that, and I really like the main character in Smile Down the Runway because there was more to him, and like compared to this, it's like just this dude's like very infatuated. It's like okay, that's like at least he's developed in a way that like okay, he has interest. He's really interested in it. But like as someone who like gobbles down shonens like it's Tic Tacs, that's boring to me. Like of course a main character is going to be invested in whatever they're up to.
I haven't seen Smile Down the Runway, but I was reminded of that show's existence watching Dress Up Darling for the incredibly similar premises.
I mean, hey, there's a recommendation there for anyone who really liked this show.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing
Okay,
of Smile
but-
Down the Runway.
But here's the difference. Smile Down the Runway does not I can't speak on the animation quality, but from what I've seen of the trailers, it didn't look like it had the same
Oh yeah, it doesn't
caliber of
compete
animation.
in terms of animation. It doesn't compete.
Yeah,
at
and
all.
it also doesn't compete in terms of having Maureen Kitagawa in the show. So check and mate.
Okay, I guess it evens out in the end. Congrats.
Maybe I just don't.
Literally everything about Kitagawa is fucking perfect aesthetically. She's got the blonde hair with like those pinkish gradients, a la Dragon Maid, which is like forever turned me on to gradient hairstyles. Is like the end all be all. She's got those awesome red eye contacts, the piercings, the choker. She has the top of her school uniform undone and the tie loosened off to show her bust, and a smile that I would commit all of the war crimes and all of the human atrocities for.
I mean, like, maybe I wouldn't hate it so much because, like, even though I'm saying all this, in the end, I still gave it like a 5 out of 10, maybe even a 6 on a good day.
A fucking 5, bitch!
I like how you say I still gave it a 5 out of 10 as if it's not like a bad score.
Hey, that's an average. I think it's a
5 out of 10 is average.
Show. Yeah.
5 is slightly below. Well, I guess we're working on the 10-point scale. There is no exact middle point, but
I mean, I guess
even
5.5
still,
would be the middle
fucking
point.
5.
A 6 on a good day, you know?
Okay. Wait. Micah, did you watch episode 2?
No, I haven't. Because I just
I've seen
Okay,
episode 2.
that's your problem. That's your fucking. Oh wait, am I the only one here who watched episode?
No, I
I
saw
watched
episode
episode 2. I watched episode 2.
Okay, so
I have some
Frank,
choice
please
words for
regale
episode
them
2.
with the. Okay. Oh wait. So you. Evan,
I
you
feel
also
like this
watched
is where
episode
I'm
2?
gonna become controversial, because I really
God.
love episode 1. All right, I really like the premise of the show, and it introduces the two main characters. Immediately invested, but episode 2. So what I remember about episode 2 is that the girl goes over to Gojo's house, and then they don't leave. Like, she goes into his bedroom, and then they have a fucking 12-minute, I counted, 12-minute scene where Gojo's just, like, doing her sizes and getting all flustered. And it's just 12 minutes of that. The scene feels like it's endless.
Crunchy, you're underselling it. You are describing it as if it is not the hottest fucking shit ever
See,
put to
it
TV
isn't.
anime
It
in the
isn't.
last 5 years.
I wanna make an anecdote here or whatever, because there is, because I work in a clothing retailer and we do tailoring, right? So when Martin said let's take the inseam, I immediately knew where this was going, because at the store I work at, we take the outseam precisely to avoid the situation that ended up happening in the show.
Oh, so you're telling me that tailors don't usually brush the vaginas of the people they're measuring clothes for?
I mean, at least at the store I work at, no.
Well, damn, you're in the wrong line of business, bud. You're working at the wrong store. You need to get a flight to Japan ASAP, my dude.
But, like, okay, so around the first third of the scene or so. All right, so he spent a few minutes getting embarrassed and all that, and it's like, normal anime bullshit, whatever. I can tolerate it for a little bit, it's within Gojo's
Crunchy,
character.
you keep brushing
But
over the
hold
fact
on,
that this.
hold on.
That this. Okay.
So then after that,
Go ahead,
he
go
like
ahead.
he steals his resolve, right? And he's like, I'm gonna measure this girl because she is like committed. She is committed to having this outfit. All right. I just need to steal my resolve and take those measurements and make her happy by making this outfit. And I thought the scene was gonna end there. And if it had ended there, I would have been happy, because that is like an emotional resolution to the scene. It doesn't overstay its welcome. But then it's like, he gets to the bust and he gets embarrassed again. And there's like 2 fucking minutes of him being embarrassed about measuring this girl. It's like, just measure them. Just get to the point. All right. It's not funny.
Get your face all
to
up
see
in
it.
them.
It's not funny. It's not enjoyable to watch. Like, a guy getting embarrassed about tits it can only stay entertaining for so long, and that length of time is not 12 goddamn minutes.
I mean, I already had that problem with the
Alright.
first episode. With, like, the glancing and all that. Like, got boring for me.
I will say that if that continues to happen, because I that was the one worry that I had coming out of both episodes of the show, is that if there's going to be multiple scenes of Gojo taking Kitagawa's measurements and getting flustered every time, like that's gonna get old really fucking fast, and I hope that either we just straight up don't see that shit, or if we do see it, then at least he's gotten used to it, or like he gets so into it that like he doesn't even think about it anymore. Like it just desensitizes.
See, that's what happens in Runway, the Smile Down the Runway. Like, sure, the guy gets like flustered at first, but then he realizes that in his career as a fashion designer, he has to get used to it, and I like that.
That sounds awesome.
well,
I want
the
to
only
watch
difference
Smile Down the
between-
Runway now.
The difference between those professions, though, is that Gojo never had aspirations to design clothes for people, only for the dolls.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but that's also like,
And I guess we should probably swing this back. I got so caught up in the fucking literally 12 out of 10 sex appeal of Kitagawa that we kind of jumped over the premise.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think people get it by now.
Well, that's the purpose of the podcast, though. We gotta guide the sheeple to watch the good shit, and we gotta tell them about the good shit so that way they watch it.
But despite whatever criticisms like this show gets, honestly, I'd go as far as to say it's the only good show of the season, not counting sequels, because I don't have opinions on those.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you.
There are a couple this block. That I will go to bat for, but as far as the best show, I would be hard pressed to find any show from the second half of shows that we're gonna do in the next podcast that will be better than this one.
Actually, I agree
because-
with you though, Neon. Like, it is the best show this season. I agree with you on that front.
You only seen the first episode. You gave it a fucking 5, and you think it's the best.
Oh god. I will say, all right, I've seen one show from the second block, and that show is, at least in my opinion, maybe if I had just seen episode 1, I'd say Dress Up Darling edges it out, but because I saw episode 2, I'd say the one show I've seen from the second block is so far better.
Okay, but now Crunchy. I know I just got done talking about we should go to the premise, but I need to just double back real quick because you kept brushing off the literal sex, like there is no other way to describe it than sex. The animation that they have on Kitagawa at like every single second.
All right, NeonManta.
episode 2.
NeonManta. All right, it's well animated, so it's kind of hot, but she's not my type.
L, massive L.
L plus ratio, young boy, you fell off. How the fuck? Have you seen the fucking fan art?
I have not seen the fan art. I've been off of
I guess
Twitter
you're also not
like
on
month.
Twitter.
Why would
but-
I ever use Twitter?
So you can look at Kitagawa fan art, duh!
No, he has a point. Why do we use Twitter?
Dude, Kitagawa single-handedly should justify your use of Twitter for the next 3 months.
Two months ago, I said no more Twitter. It's just there to make me mad and bored. And then I stopped using it, and now I'm happier. And it's not
Well,
a
if it works for you,
coincidence.
then it works for you.
I don't know. I've never been depressed by Twitter. I don't know. Maybe
No.
I'm just different.
Same.
Yeah, you just curate your content, like the stuff you see on Twitter, and you'll never be mad. That's what I do, at least.
I barely look at the search section. I just go on the timeline, see. I don't find out about shit like Italian Tifa until my timeline brings it up for me.
Yeah, but that's amazing, though.
See,
Like, how are you?
Yeah, that's why.
My
That's how you use Twitter.
listen, my time.
You wait for your people to bring you your shit.
The Twitter timeline is how I found out that Serena Williams not only shills NFTs, but that her husband founded Reddit, and I could not take that amount of psychic damage.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear about that?
Serena Williams' husband founded Reddit?
Yep.
Huh, you learn something new every day, I guess.
I found out she shills NFTs and her husband founded Reddit in the same tweet, and like that was just too much.
Well, see,
my lord.
that first sentence is believable, sadly, but that second one takes some processing. Anyways, all right. Premise: Dress Up Darling. So we already talked about how Gojo keeping his doll thing to himself, but then he meets Maureen Kitagawa, the popular girl. She's hot as fuck. She's like the talk of her class. And then she walks in on Gojo in the home ec room, using a sewing machine and playing with like making clothes for his dolls. And she's like, "Holy shit, bro! You know how to sew? You know you like making clothes?" And then she shows him the cosplay outfit that she wanted to make, but she's not that good at it, and it's kind of shit. And when Gojo berates her for it, not out of maliciousness, but just out of like, in the same way like PC bros who like build PCs are like, "What the fuck? You use the fucking Asus motherboard with your fucking gigabyte schlong, the super shitter graphics card? They're not compatible, bro. Why would you didn't look that up? You didn't go on PC Part Picker?" And like, and in that sort of sense, like from an expert looking at a newbie, being like, "You've made these beginner level mistakes, bro."
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like that. Like I like that scene. Like I like the scenes where like they nerd out. Like those in particular are really well done.
Oh yeah, that's probably
And
one of my
so-
favorite aspects about their character dynamic, that they're both complete nerds. The girl, I forget her name for whatever reason, but she's like a super
forgot-
seemingly hardcore otaku or something
It's
of that
Kitagawa,
ilk.
you fucking
Kitagawa.
Philistine.
Kitagawa seems to be a hardcore
We've like
otaku.
name dropped her 10 times.
Yeah, but I have the memory
Fucking-
of a tortoise.
You remembered Gojo, but you couldn't remember Kitagawa.
Because
Gojo from
Gojo
the
is
better
2
show.
syllables and Kitagawa is 4.
Name another fucking anime character named Kitagawa.
I probably could actually, but I just don't remember any right now. But I know it exists.
Mykurr is going on the
For
My
some reason,
Anime
when I looked
search
up-
list as we speak, searching up all the characters that share the name Kitagawa.
When I looked up Kitagawa on YouTube, like right when the show came out, some Haikyuu clips came up, but I didn't see any character named Kitagawa, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this really heartwarming scene where Kitagawa requests Gojo to make her a cosplay outfit because she believes that cosplay is like the #1 way to show your love for a character, and the character means so much to her, and she wanted to express that love through cosplay, but she was unable to because she's bad at sewing. And so even though Gojo has never made clothes for a person before, she is so touched by her words and her just like resolve to love her character despite what other people think. There's this awesome scene where one of her friends is talking about how she got hit on by a guy at the salon, and then he points out the anime character's accessories that she has on her bag, and he's like, "Wow, you a nerd? Wow, that's so lame." And then her brow furrows, she fucking makes the disgusted it's like she was looking at walking garbage face. And it's like, the only one lame here is you. And then walks off like the Sigma female that she is.
That scene was very good, and I really like the sort of, like, the show seems to be set out to contrast Gojo and Kitagawa, not just in, like, their general, like, oh, Kitagawa is more socially confident and has friends, and, you know, Gojo, you know, he's a loner. You know, that's all stuff we've seen before. But what isn't seen every day is that, you know, Kitagawa is, you know, she's very vocal and upfront with, like, her very nerd things that she likes. You know, as someone who, I mean, basically, the biggest thing in my life, aside from, like, writing, is anime. And, you know, I don't just bring that up to people. If people ask me, like, oh, what did you do? I say I watched TV shows instead of anime. Meanwhile, Kitagawa would totally be the type of person to say, I watched anime and they were all ecchi harems.
Yeah, that's one of the things that immediately endeared me to Kitagawa more.
You know, I like
I can-
characters who just like don't care what people think of them. You know?
Yeah. Like,
Bro, she had literally zero fucking qualms being like, oh yeah, by the way, my favorite character that I want to cosplay as is this huge fucking slut from this porn game, and that I just happened to fall in love with, and she's like my favorite. She is from a humiliation sex slave non-con porn game. And
That
it's like,
one
then she goes
line-
on into great detail with one of my favorite screencasts being like, but it was an act of non-con out of love.
Yeah,
which is so
that
fucking
that
hilarious
screen
to me.
cap That screen cap is so fun. That's the best part of the show. I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
It's an Erog, but it's epic.
Bro, like, I can imagine that even just like outside of fucking cosplay fanatics, the show will let people who have niche hobbies that they don't often get to share with others be seen and be like, because like, even like in that moment with Gojo, which is like one of my favorite moments from the show, where she's like, does it really matter if you're like being a boy or girl? Does that really matter if you just want to like do the thing that you love? And then he immediately flashes back to when his childhood friend berated him for liking girl dolls. And then like what I thought was going to happen was that he's going to be like, he was either going to say nothing in response to what she said, or be like, offer a meek response and be like, I don't know, like, what if they're right? But no, he just fucking stands up, be like, yeah, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. And he's like, he gets so impassionate about it. I'm like, hell yeah, Gojo, don't let anyone fucking tell you what you can and can't like.
As much as that scene is good, Gojo monologues too much. Like, way too fucking much. Like, God damn,
you know,
I wasn't bothered by it.
I never really noticed that, and perhaps that's because I've been reading Katanagatari recently, where that book will just have like 3 pages of monologue just randomly. So maybe my standards have been adjusted a bit, but I didn't really notice too much monologue. And to be fair, I also generally like it when characters talk for a long time, as long as it's about something interesting. And
I mean,
this
for
show
me,
has...
like, I just came off from reading the Shingo Natsume interview about like why the Sunny Boy barely has any monologues and all that, and ever since then it's like, holy shit, this is actually boring as fuck to listen to all the time.
I mean, I'm the kind of guy who like really loves it when a Monogatari episode will stay in one room for like half an entire arc. So yeah, maybe I'm just very resistant.
Oh, but if Kitagawa goes into a fucking bedroom with Gojo and strips down to her suit for 12
they're
minutes,
not talking about
it.
Yeah, I can't stand it because they're not talking about something interesting. There's nothing to like hold my attention. It's just, oh, he's getting flustered again for like the 17th time.
You don't need dialogue when the blatant foot fetish by the author is on full display within episode 2.
I liked that aspect.
He really channeled his Quentin Tarantino, which I'll have to bring that up in another show this block.
Yeah, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about, and we'll get to that. Speaking of, kind of though, this is I didn't notice this until I was going down the list for this block of the podcast. Fucking Cloverworks, who did this show, put out 3 fucking shows this season. We'll get to the other 2 in this block of the podcast, but of the 3, I think this is definitely the best one.
Oh, for sure.
I agree.
There is one that gives it a run for its money.
No,
the other one I don't think quite hits the mark.
I feel bad for the Cloverworks staff.
Yeah, but like I know they've been rapidly growing because at first they were an offshoot of A1, but now they've since grown into their own studio. What? And they've been taking on some like pretty big projects. They've had a mixed track record. They made some good shit.
Hang on.
I'm pretty sure they did season 1 of Promised Neverland, and then they did season 2 of Promised Neverland and instantly undid all that goodwill.
Yeah.
I have not watched Promised Neverland, but I have seen the whole shitstorm that season 2 caused.
That's worth a fucking documentary to look into. I demand. I'm desperate to know the behind the scenes story on season 2.
You know, the Cloverworks. I had to look them up because I knew who they were, but I was like, oh yeah, the first time they actually got noticed by anyone was Darling in the Franxx, huh?
I think that's when they started.
Yeah.
No, according to
A1,
Wikipedia, they did Slow Start before.
What's that?
That was their first. That was their first
that.
TV show. I could have sworn they like came into existence like with Franxx to be like, all right,
it says,
we're gonna make this little offshoot show.
It says here, Slow Start was January 7th, 2018, and then Darling was January 13th, 2018.
Okay, well, same season.
And only one of these shows had 02, so you could guess which one got the more attention.
I mean, Cloverworks have always been really fucking good at character design, if nothing else. Like even shows that like went under the radar, like Fugo Keiji, the millionaire detective, has some really good character designs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're making Spy X Family. Okay, that's gonna be a good one. All right.
Yeah, they're making Spy X Family and the like going off the trailers, which I know they're adapting from manga, like just like they're doing here. But like they're good with original designs and with adaptations of character designs. They translate well to animation, especially with the amount of animation going into this show because it looks beautiful.
Definitely the best looking show of the season.
Actually,
at
like,
least
is the
at least
animation
of this
like a
block.
combination of CGI or something? Because like it looks really like fluid and all that, but like a lot of the movements seem
I
like
think-
a little too
I don't-
fluid.
I think that's called rotoscoping.
It's not CGI.
I
It's
think-
yeah, rotoscoping.
Ah.
I didn't look into it to see if it was like confirmed. Either it's like really fucking smooth, or it might easily be rotoscoping. Which even then, that's not easy to pull off and make
like,
look
it
well.
was amazing, like what they did there.
Yeah, as long as it looks good,
the
I
fact
don't
that
really
if they
care
rotoscoped-
about the technique behind it.
Listen, Cloverworks, there's literally no way you're listening to this, but if you happen to have the rotoscoped test footage of whoever you had to draw on top of Kitagawa taking off all those clothes, the link to the P.O. box is in the description. Not really, but... It's not my fault, okay? It's not... If you watched it, you tell me she's not hot.
Neon's gonna go on a secret heist mission to get those files from Cloverworks.
Fucking Mission Impossible, that shit.
All right, well, there is one
I will
more.
say...
There is one more scene I want to talk about from episode 2, which is at the very end where his grandpa walks in on him watching the show because Kitagawa gave him this like porn show to watch because it's where she got the outfit from.
Mm-hmm.
And he like is completely unfazed, nonplussed about his grandpa just walking in on him. And I am very much hoping it felt weird, but they still can't explain it. Just say he's like gotten desensitized to it, like from watching the thing and from like putting on the clothes. I'm hoping it's that so that we don't have to deal with him being flustered anymore.
Yeah, I did find it weird that I know because in his point of view, it's like real life versus a video game. But I did find it a little weird that he felt so embarrassed to take Kitagawa's measurements then, and then is actively taking notes on the outfits and angles of this porn game, which has a very much, as described by Kitagawa, explicitly weird kink shit.
If they don't explain it, then I'd consider it like an inconsistency in characterization. But if they do, once again, just say he's gotten desensitized.
It's probably, realistically, it's probably just what Neon said. It's like, oh, this is a video game, and it's not real life. So
yeah, true. But I mean, I wouldn't buy that explanation. I would not buy that explanation at all.
I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't buy it either. At least in the context of like the series of events that we witnessed.
We'll have to see how the next like measuring session goes, assuming there is a next one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guarantee. I haven't read the manga, but like going off of the OP, which has her in different outfits, I imagine like the season's going to be about them making the outfits together.
So like every arc
like,
is going to be like a new outfit like that, probably.
I'd imagine so. I can't imagine how the surely the entire show is not going to be about making that one Shizuka character.
Outfit of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, Kitagawa is a fucking character designer's wet dream. The opening has her in all those different outfits, and she looks hot as fuck in every single one of them. Also, the OP, song-wise, it's not anything I write home about, but I can't help but loop that one clip of her doing the little hip swivel in the back while she's making hearts with her fingers. Literally perfect.
Oh yeah, I love the animation in the opening. It's amazing.
I don't remember
I watch
the song
ED
at all.
And I get fucking pure dopamine rush.
I want a show in the style of the ED, because that is cute.
I didn't watch the ED.
What the fuck?
I don't
Watch it
EDs.
now.
Oh, dude, you made a horrible mistake,
Neon,
bro.
you know me. You know how much.
No, you made a horrible fucking mistake. I will skip EDs sometimes if they're not good. This one is going squarely on the never skip list.
Yeah,
Same
I don't
here.
watch EDs.
It's
That's not a
so
me thing.
cute.
Even the EDs.
It is fucking okay.
Even the EDs.
They got
I don't always watch them.
Okay, they got a Pixiv artist named Futada to do the animation and artwork of the ED, and it is the cutest fucking shit. It's like lo-fi city pop chibi-esque. It's like the only thing I could think of is like a lo-fi city pop version of like the opening dance numbers from the Urusei Yatsura show. If you know what I'm talking about, like the little dances that the characters do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
do not.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and then fucking Kitagawa does the cutest fucking dance when the chorus hits, where she's just like shaking her arms in tune to the rhythm, and I can literally, my face cannot help but curl up with a big fucking grin every
I will
time
have
I
to
see
watch
it. It is.
this when
It's
It's
so
pumped, like-
adorable. I want
I could
a
fucking
show in that
die in
style.
real life, and someone could hold that up to my face, and then my heart would like pump itself back to life. It would physically, the rigor mortis would undo itself, and would start pumping non-existent blood throughout my body again. It is the cutest fucking shit. Also, Gojo is weirdly transphobic in it for some reason. Didn't understand what the point of that one was. I'm sure it was pure coincidence that
Maybe-
the little space squid that he is trying to avoid getting suckered on the face by had the trans flag colors.
You
But
know, maybe the
we call
Twitter,
that a happy
maybe
little
the
incident.
artist has something, a little
Uh-oh.
a certain
Maybe
opinion,
the-
and maybe
Oh,
wanted to
propaganda.
share it.
Uh-oh. A little sus there.
The last thing I wanted to note about the show before we move on is that Kitagawa, I've seen people levy the criticism that she's like the ultimate manic pixie dream girl, and like, yeah, admittedly I do kind of see it. She's a disgusting anime degen that sleeps the body pillow of her waifu, plays porn games, watches anime while she does her makeup, is the most like sociable girl in her class, hot as fuck, hangs out with the loner kid, is like so into like the exact type of porn games that the people who want a manic pixie dream girl to be their girlfriend would be into. She's undressed in front of Gojo twice in both episodes.
I mean, I don't
And
really see that as an
was
issue.
Yeah,
I don't-
same here.
I
Mhm.
don't see her as like a detraction of the character. Well, as well, maybe not the character, as like a detraction of the show. But I did see it like they levied it in the same way as like, oh yeah, of course the dude, the beta male with no game gets the girl who is like literally built to be the most perfect wife ever. And I think I had a point with it, but I just wanted to at least bring it up. I wasn't bothered by it because I think the whole thematic point of the show is about two people with relatively niche, I guess you could say underappreciated in like the mainstream hobbies, and they are finding each other and like building each other up through their passion in their own. Like, they're bringing together their passions to make something that both of them can fulfill themselves with.
Yeah.
Gojo can make clothes, not just for dolls, but now for a person, because that'll help Kitagawa feel like this character that she loves so much. And she's able to wear this cosplay. She's helping Gojo to make the stuff so that way he can partake in his favorite thing to do in the world and not feel like he has to keep it to himself anymore. And as someone who has spent the better part of like 3 to 4 years championing fucking porn games like Honey Pop and Subverse to people who are like, no, dude, it's good even if you like disregard the porn entirely. You gotta play those shits. As someone who like wants porn games like those, like the good ones, not just like the shitty trend of the week things that you'll see on like the Steam trending lists, like the actual stuff that has quality in it that just so happens to be a porn game like Honey Pop or Subverse. Like, I want to see those kind of games be like in the like general conversation of games in the same way as like the newest hot title of the month or like the biggest indie games. It made me feel seen when like she got so passionate about like her own favorite porn game.
That's a bit of an interesting way to connect with the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love about fucking media like this. You find the weirdest things that like not everyone is going to have the same connection, but I've found it interesting. I found that it appealed to me personally, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all that fucking matters, bro. And maybe I can only hope that it appeals to other people.
I mean,
too.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why it appealed to a lot of people and why it got so popular. Because like, it's really about like accepting hobbies and stuff, and that's what part of what like everyone likes about it.
I mean, keep in mind it's also an
and the
anime.
Sexualization plays a part of it because the top tier boob physics
True.
is something that some people are weirdly hornily into, and the fact that they're so fucking realistic and hot.
Oh yeah, I guess there's that too. I kind of forgot they were in my timeline as well.
I mean,
Just
on that
kidding,
note,
they were
Micah,
in my timeline.
this is an anime where like being an otaku is kind of like a not very socially accepted hobby in most spheres, and you know, having an anime about having your hobby not being socially accepted, you know, it's kind of
Bit
you know,
of a tangent
it's something.
here,
Oh,
but like in the classroom scene of episode 1, there's a lot of kids talking about anime. That doesn't happen in real life. Not even Japan. No one talks about anime. No one talks about, ooh, that seiyuu was really good. No one talks about anime like that in high school in Japan.
Counterpoint. Maybe it's because I hang out with that crowd, but like when I was going to, you're gonna kill me for this, by the way, sell my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I bought last year to try to get back into it, but just didn't get into.
Yeah.
I went to a card shop. I went to the local trading card shop, and these guys were just talking about anime, and I just joined in with the conversation, being like, "Oh yeah, this season's kind of like
card games and anime are sort of adjacent to each other, especially like stuff like the more Japanese kind of side of card games.
Heck, even Magic fans know anime. Like, it's kind of adjacent, but like in high school, no one talks shit like that about their favorite seiyuu.
all right.
Like that.
To build off of NeonManta's point, one time someone was talking about anime on my bus, and I just inserted myself into the conversation. So, I mean, I'd say it's plausible. They weren't talking about, like, the seiyus or anything, but they were talking about shows they liked.
I'll say it's really just, like, the seiyus part that's kind of a little bit...
I mean, honestly, it's such
I feel like that's a weird thing to get.
I know. It's really just a non-issue, which is why I said it's a tangent. So, like, don't worry about it. It's just something that I found very funny. Like, wow, this universe really likes anime for some reason. But that's about it.
Wow. We've spent a long time on it before we wrap up our thoughts on My Dress Up Darling. I do want to point out one last thing. That her little skip that she does when she everything about Kitagawa is so cute, adorable, and hot. But then when Gojo says, "Yeah, okay, I'll make the outfit for you," and she does the little face where she brings her hands up to her mouth and she's like gasping a little, and then she does her little celebration and then skips all around and she's like celebrating that she can finally be Shizuku-tan. It is the fucking cutest.
That was adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I want that clip to play on loop in my head forever. It is unreal how perfect Kitagawa is as like she's not the best character, like writing wise. She's not yet gotten her chops in. She needs more time. It's only been 2 episodes, but at least in terms of like aesthetics, she's
she's aesthetically pretty great, and like she probably She's probably why I carried through the end of episode 1, and maybe I will check out episode 2 just for her.
I highly recommend My Dress Up Darling. I think it will end up being show of the season.
I agree with that.
Is that about it?
Well, now that we've gotten the only good show out of the season out of the way,
yeah, I feel like we'd spent nearly an hour on My Gist of Darling, and rightfully so, because I think it's the one that has the most worth talking about.
Oh,
Let's be honest. if
We're
it-
gonna be able to blow through the next few
Yeah.
real fast.
All right, well, I guess we can continue to the next show.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we can start blazing through these next ones fast. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, man, this is retardedly similar to Realist Hero.
Okay, so
Uh,
here's some
It's
notes.
crazy how hang on. It's crazy how they're having the same show air twice in one season. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, I was like so zoned out watching it that you could have like switched it to Realist Hero season 2, and I don't think I would have noticed.
Alright,
I mean,
the
for
thing
me,
that
at
stood out. Hang on.
least-
Hold on. The thing that stood
Okay.
out to me was the really weird, like, CGI shot at the beginning.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
that's
panning.
hilarious.
Oh yeah, that shot was awful. By the way, it's so like janky
The-
ass.
the glass-
CG
hold on,
camera
the
movement.
All right. The
PS1
hardest I
cutscene.
laughed this season was when the fucking glass shatter effect transitioned into the title card. I could not stop laughing for a minute
Into the
straight.
opening. I'm pretty sure that's it went into the opening as well.
No, it's so
I
funny
remember
too
there
because
being
like
a glass shattering animation. I don't remember like it registering to me as something so like outlandishly bad that I would laugh at it. But then again, maybe I was just already so like dreading going into the show that
Like-
I knew I just wasn't gonna find any of it
no,
interesting.
the funniest part about the transition too is that like the music that's playing before it like ends and then
Yeah.
it starts playing. it's like they
Oh.
put
I
this
mean, I
into
don't
like
get-
Premiere or something.
I don't get what the point of them having like that glass shatter effect into the title card for the show and then playing the opening, which also has the title card of the show.
All right, you know what? Let me regale the premise of this show just so we don't get sidetracked as hard as
Okay.
last time. So, it's basically about a king who wants to sell off the kingdom. He hates that he's the king, but then every time he tries to like, you know, do something that he thinks is like totally, you know, asinine or like isn't gonna work out, somehow it always works out in the end, and he ends up basically rebuilding the kingdom even though he's trying to just build up enough money to sell it. And that's
It's
the
sort of
entire
like a
joke
reverse
of
reincarnated slime.
Well, like
And,
I don't really see the
instead of
connection,
trying to build
honestly.
up a civilization from zero, he's trying to tear down a already established civilization to something that he can pawn off on someone else, so
Yeah.
that way he can just retire and live a cozy life. And the joke of the series, like you said, is that despite his attempts of sabotage while being the prince, like to maintain, because he can't make it too obvious or else he's like a coup will happen and he could like die. So he'd be like, all right, I gotta make it look like I'm trying to help us, but I'm subtly sabotaging it behind the scenes.
But see, that's
I gotta fail in style.
yeah, but
he
that's
keeps,
also
accidentally succeeding.
yeah, that's one of the things I hate about the show, which is that I would rather watch a show about someone who like is doing blatantly stupid things, like he just fucking grabs a machine gun and shoots his like top advisor, but like then it turns out the top advisor.
Well, then you'd have a much
wa-
shorter show.
No, but then it turns out that
wait,
the
like
top advisor
was like,
yeah, an assassin trying to kill him and then ruin the kingdom. Or like
and you're
they,
pitching a way better show already.
yeah, that's what I wanted this show to be, but no, it's like not quite that hilarious.
Imagine the parallel world where instead of this like generic John every anime, we get like fucking Cusco
I
from,
mean-
from the Disney movies.
I don't
I mean,
think
at least what
that's
I
fair.
liked about this show is that, like, I'm kind of sick of those, like, civilization building isekai, so I thought this would, like, this would be pretty nice, but yeah, like, if only, like, the main character was actually incompetent and just somehow made it work, not the fact that he's already competent, like, that kind of ruins things. That's not like, oh, he's already competent, so of course, like, some of his plans are gonna work, so, it just doesn't
Yeah.
hit the same notes.
It's like
Well, the
they're
thing-
calling
the
him the
moment that
genius
ruined the-
prince. Like I don't want to watch the genius prince. I want to watch the garbage prince who's trying to kill everyone in the country or something like that, or like sabotage everything.
Yeah.
The moment that sunk the show for me was after their fight scene, which was generally unappealing to watch. Like they kind of tried with this visualization of like the like tabletop pieces fucking going.
Oh
at
god,
it.
that was
CG.
horrible. I want to vomit.
It wa-
just remembering
Well, they tried with like experimenting with like a shot that instead of just like the boring, bland CG soldiers fighting each other, they just like tried to show it like in this way. It didn't look good, but at least like I could tell like they were like trying. They were trying to do something that they couldn't pull off.
Yeah.
Which I respect
Yeah.
more than not trying at all.
Yeah.
All right,
Actually,
one
you know
thing
what I hate
I'm
a
gonna
lot?
say.
In a moment,
Oh, like
I just want to finish my thought real quick. The moment that Sango was like after that battle, he's like talking with his officers to be like, all right, what's our next plan of attack? And he's like, I was hoping that we would lose that fight, but we ended up winning it. How am I gonna turn this around? I know. I'll suggest that we attack their gold mine. Off of like we don't have any intel on it. It would be like a stupid suicide mission to attack their gold mine, which is their only point of worth to conquer their nation. And it's gonna be like so outlandish that they can't agree with me, but it's not like so like a stupid of a request because it's like it's just logical enough to be like, okay, I can see why he would think this, but we don't have enough intel or we don't have enough like soldiers to make it happen. And he's like, all right, now disagree with me. And then his officer's like, oh, good job, Your Highness. You thought of our plan, like, you caught on to our plan before we even told you about it. And it's like, so the genius prince isn't even that much of a genius because his officers thought of this exact plan before he did.
Yeah,
I
the whole
I like the part where they cut off the enemy general's head like in full view, because usually like shows will like cut away from that sort of thing. They'll like sense.
Yeah, I was not expecting the show to be this bloody, I will say.
Oh, yeah, that was
when they raise
weird.
but when they raise it on the pike, they like put it in a bag. So it's like, really, you're gonna show us the act, but then you're not. I don't know.
eh.
I mean,
I wouldn't be hung up on that. I mean, I think Hunter x Hunter did a very similar thing with the.
I'm just trying to.
Legendary
I'm just
heart
pointing out
pulling
like
scene.
how they're willing to show one thing, but then not like the other. It's not a big deal.
I think that's just a thing that they did. I don't think they actually put their heads like without a bag on the pikes. I don't know. I'm no fucking time traveler.
One thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One
so, like,
thing
one
I
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
thing I don't really like about the show is like, all right, so it's a light novel adaptation, and light novels always like try to seem like really smart and like have all this like pseudo philosophical dialogue and stuff like that.
Pretentious,
Tactics.
yes.
Yeah, pretentious. Kind of like Nisio Isin-esque books, but bad. And so the genius prince aspect of the show is like they are trying to make him seem smart. They're trying to make him seem like a legitimately competent person who's just trying to pawn off a kingdom. He's smart, but he just happens to want to pawn off the kingdom. And so there's like all these tactics that they're going into in the battle, but none of it's interesting. And it's like, just be stupid. Just be a stupid show about a guy. Like I said earlier, that would be a more fun show, but instead it's like, it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. And it doesn't.
This is just one of those shows where it's proof that Japan needs to like stop pumping out light novels at the same rate that Soulja Boy used to pump out game consoles. Yes.
I think what sums up the show real well. I know I don't know how many of y'all watch the ED to the show. It's literally just clips from the episode. There's not 1 second of new animation.
That's
It's
what the
all
OP
literally
is,
clips.
though. Like the OP is
Yeah,
literally just
the OP.
Yeah,
is
the
also
OP
that.
looks like clips from the show that we're gonna see later, but like at least like that's already lazy as fuck. This is like laziness in the next level.
One last thing I do want to say about the show is just that I sort of disagree on like the John Everyman complaint, because he does have at least a personality. He's kind of like fed up with everything and wants to pawn off the kingdom.
Speaking more design wise.
Oh, design wise,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like his
all right, I can see
personality.
that, but yeah, his personality, it's not interesting, and the show doesn't really make it work, but it has potential enough that I was almost tempted to like almost consider the light novel, but I don't think it would fix enough of the fundamental problems I have with the show, so I probably won't ever try it out.
I will give the show some just desserts. There is apparently there's a scene in the second episode that I've seen floating around of they've captured one of the enemy generals and he insulted the white-haired assistant girl of the prince, and like once like he said some like really vile shit, like the pretty much actual racism, and then he's like, hey, can you leave us alone for a moment? And then he like fucking straight up fucking kills the dude. It's like, yeah, don't you ever fucking talk shit about her ever.
All right, that's
And
pretty
apparently
based.
that is pretty based.
He's-
He also has her meow like a cat for some reason.
Well, I
think it
actually
has to
thought
be
that
like a
was-
joke with the name, but
That was the most personality that they had in the entire show.
Yeah, I actually liked that, the whole meowing like a cat gag. It's not funny, but it's endearing.
They also took the gold mine off screen, which I thought that was gonna be like the whole premise of like the next episode.
Oh
is
yeah,
them
I
trying
love
to
how
take
like
the
they
gold
just
mine.
like hard cut to the like that.
And
like,
then-
that was a nice joke. That was a nice
And
joke.
yeah, they're just leaning on the window and just like, yeah, well, I guess we took the gold mine. It's like, wait, really? Did my like video player skip? I will say it is better than Realist Hero because at least I remember a couple things from it, whereas I remember literally nothing from Realist Hero.
Oh, it is
But,
infinitely
it's,
better than Realist Hero. Way better.
It's still not good.
Yeah,
See,
it's
like,
bad,
I-
but it's
I-
not
I-
Realist Hero
you-
bad.
you're
Yeah.
saying it's infinitely better, but like 0 times infinity is like still 0. So
I mean, for
Okay,
me at least,
well-
it's like I'll watch it. Not that it's good, but I'll watch it.
I
I
would
won't.
rather watch paint dry. Alright, I think we've said as more than enough about Genius Prince. Now I want to introduce us to this next show because I went on a bit of a roller coaster watching fucking The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest.
the crests start to blame.
Because yeah, I literally my first note is 3 houses lol. The strongest sage enjoyer versus the weakest crest haver.
Yeah.
Alright.
This motherfucker is the most Gary Stu light novel protagonist I've seen in a hot minute.
I want to interrupt you real quick because this is one of those shows where I just hit like the skip 10 seconds button like at every opportunity because I
Every
just
10 seconds.
because
You know-
I just could not get it. Like there was really nothing. Like I could skip to like the halfway point and I would still be like, yeah, I got all the information I needed.
All right, let me give you the Cliff Notes rundown of how much of a Gary Stu this motherfucker is. The main guy, his name's Maddie. He owns a Calamity grade tier tiger monster as part of his like character's introduction as he's traveling on a wagon. This green girl that he meets in this blacksmith shop immediately places her faith into this random kid to make this enchanted sword for her because he's just so cool. And then this blonde girl, the friend of the green girl, meets him and is just instantly smitten because he's just so cool. And then Maddie as he's taking the test to become a knight or some shit, he owns the Captain Knight exam. He's like the captain of the fucking Royal Order, and he owns them without even trying because he's just so cool. He owns the Crest of Failure, which is the lowest fucking magic seal you can have in this world, but he still dominates with it because, you know.
He's just so
And
cool.
then, yeah, and then Maddie becomes a teacher in this lost form of wordless magic because he's the master of it when everyone else does it uses the current incantation format. And he's just so good at wordless magic, so better than his adult peers because kill yourself. He instantly susses out that his inter-school competition rivaled school's top student is a demon because I can feel the noose is slowly fascinating. The kid is named fucking the demon kid, by the way, is named Devilis because
Oh my
subtlety.
god. Alright, hold on. I just want to cut in here because I laughed out loud when everyone was surprised that the guy named Devilis was a demon. I could not stop laughing.
This is
Actually-
some basic. See,
Do
hang
you
on,
not
that-
even
that-
ever see like the
Mykurr,
name of the
Mykurr,
academy?
wait.
First Academy, Second Academy. Like
Maker,
fucking
wait.
days.
The whole thing with the devil's name is that's like some Ace Attorney stuff, where the guy
Dick Gumshoe.
the guy who what's the meme? It's like the guy named I committed murder turns out to be the murderer.
It's
And
literally
then
that.
the biggest fucking twist in the fucking multiverse happens, where it's revealed that Maddie is actually a legendary sage, the legendary hero reincarnated into this young boy's body like 200 years in the future or some shit. And then it hit me. Wait a second. This is just Misfit of Demon King Academy, but unironically. And
I have
therefore
not
bad.
seen that show.
I mean, I didn't like that show either. I still think that show was also bad, but yeah, this is basically that show.
Misfit of Demon King Academy did get worse the longer it went on. It's definitely at its funniest like the first time you watch the first few episodes.
I like
because of
this.
the sheer.
I like the scene where he like picks up a castle with his like finger or whatever. He just spins it around.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
like a basketball.
can I just say something for both this and the previous show? Like,
Yeah.
god damn, it looks so fucking jank. Like,
This show looked better than Genius Prince, but it
was
literally
still
nothing right.
pretty
There's nothing to
fucking
write home
jank.
about.
You
I'm
know,
convinced there wasn't a single point of natural dialogue throughout this entire show. Like, it's all just the necessary formula you need to make a show work. It's like, okay, so what do we have? What tropes have we not filled yet? Okay, we gotta checklist this in.
I just went down the checklist, bro. At least in terms of the Gary Stewness. Like, we're reaching critical
Yeah.
mass. The amount
Uh,
of Gary Stew in this show. And like it worked in fucking Misfit because it felt like it was kind of laughing at itself.
yeah.
Like because like literally we're introduced to the Demon King character in Misfit by him killing this dude over and over by snapping his fingers, and then he brings him back to life every time he kills him just to be like, alright, you ready to surrender yet? Do you believe me that I'm Demon King now? No? Okay. Kills him again, brings him back to life. And it's the fact that he's literally performing these fucking miracles of bringing him back from the dead and being like, and all of these people are watching him and still being like, no, he's nothing special. He's just a little bitch boy.
Oh yeah,
And, like,
I do
it's
love
the
how
fact
over
that,
the
like,
top that is.
It's like the One Punch Man effect where like so few people can actually comprehend that Saitama is so unstoppable, and like they just outright refuse to believe that he's as good as he is. And the longer Misfit went on, the longer like forewent that joke for trying to adopt a more serious narrative, which didn't really work. But like this show, like not only did it try to be Misfit, but unironically, it like played every single thing that Misfit, at least like I don't think it was trying to be a parody. I think it was at least a little self-aware, like in the sense that like sometimes his mom would always joke about, oh my god, you brought home a second wife already, and you're only like fucking 13. And his dad's like, oh man, I only ever got myself one wife. You're doing better than me, son. I'm proud of you. And like they're just playing it that, but straight. Like it's like there's a little levity. This feels like you're supposed to look at strongest sage, weakest crest. Feels like you're supposed to look up to Maddie, be like, oh yeah, he's so cool. I want to be him. And it's like,
yeah, you're definitely supposed
no.
to like insert yourself into him because it's just that kind of show. I am shocked that I got through this without speeding it up. I don't know how I did it.
I did the same only because I didn't want to miss a single bit of his Gary Stewness.
It's so
I needed
blatant
to see the Gary
too.
Stew simmer.
Yeah, it's like shows are normally not this blatantly, like even the self-insert ones aren't normally this blatant about being a Gary Stew show. This one just does not even attempt to hide it. And another thing Micah was talking about earlier with like the visuals, that is like I'm surprised it didn't talk about it for the last show, but like one of my biggest problems with this season in general is that like if I watch a show and it has like even like slightly below par, like not okay, maybe not that ruthless, but like if your visuals don't entice me, I'm basically you either have to hope I'm really into the characters or I'm just not going to watch the show because I want to feel like fully invested in this world, have something pleasing to look at. And like most of the shows on this list like just fail immediately on the visual level. And this is another one of those shows where even if the script was like okay, I can't really imagine myself watching it just cuz doesn't look good.
Yeah, as soon as the fucking Sage thing dropped, and then I realized, this is how they're gonna justify all of his Gary Stewness. I was just like, I never intended on watching past the first episode, but then, yeah, like any interest is dead.
I am surprised
This
it's
is
not an
just generic
isekai
fantasy.
cuz
yeah, props to that.
It's this idea that I used to hate this term of native isekai, because like, well, then just call it a fantasy. But then the more time has passed, the more I thought about it, it's like, okay, I get the why we need like the subgenre of native isekai, because it's everything that makes isekai terrible without it being an isekai.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that just
You could
basically
have-
called not okay?
You could replace the legendary Sage thing with him just being like fucking Saito Kurota from Japan. He died and got reincarnated into another world.
I mean,
nothing would change.
he does reincarnate in the show, so I mean, what better
but
term
it's
than
the-
native isekai?
It's the legendary.
I mean, it's
Sage.
called Naruke,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, just because, like, it follows those kind of patterns and all that. Like, that's the term for it.
What's the term?
Naruke. Like, let me just type it on chat.
No.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I've only heard it called native isekai.
See, this is how you know anime fans just make stuff up sometimes.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
it's
man.
like that
the
one.
subgenre.
It's like that one skit of like the guy that he's like explaining the computer and he's just making up a bunch of terms that just sound correct, but like they're not.
Oh, yeah. No, you know that scene in Daily Lives
Uh.
of High School Boys where, like, this one dude's just trying to explain everything? Like, yeah, it's that one scene.
It's the I can't remember. I never bothered to look up the name of the show, but it's the dude who's the actor for the guy in Star Trek: The Next Generation, where it's just, I think that's the show where it's just like, nope, it never happened. It never happened. We made it up. It was never real. That one was invented by a writer.
Does anyone have anything else
y'all
to
got
say?
Yeah, you got any other thoughts?
Nah.
Nah.
All right,
It's just
well,
bad.
Mike, I'll let you introduce the next show, Requiem of the Rose King.
I'm gonna be honest, this one I watched like 5 minutes and straight up dropped, so I don't think I'm gonna do a
Me
good
too.
job in
Me too.
introducing it.
Actually.
Uh,
Me too. Actually.
All I
I
remember
watched
was that
the
it was
episode-
incredibly Fujo baity.
Yes, you are not wrong.
I watched the entire episode, but on 2x speed, and at one point even on 4 because I was just like, "Get this over, kill me now." So I
What
mean,
about
I guess
you,
I
Mara?
can give a very brief synopsis of the plot. So basically, the plot is that it's based off of Shakespeare, and actually, it's hard to remember the plot because the way the show relays information is like so backwards, where it'll have a scene and you don't know what's going on at all, and then like 2 scenes down the line you'll get the requisite context to understand the scene from before, like from way back, and it's like it doesn't really feel like a mystery, it feels like a clusterfuck. And so as far as I can tell, basically the main dude is actually either androgynous or a girl, and I'm not sure which one. But
I think it's both.
but
I think
how is it
the-
both?
I mean, that's what the
but-
synopsis
I
on Mal says.
All they said is that Richard III is neither male nor female, and he has characteristics of both sexes.
Oh, okay. So he, she, they is androgynous. And they want to basically they want to be strong, I think. And oh yeah, what What's their name?
Well, see, Richard is sad because he was born in emo instead of his blonde, blue-eyed Aryan brothers.
Oh
Huh.
yeah. And also, Richard wants the king to go to war, and that's all I got from this. The way it relays and also Richard's a demon. But the way it relays information is so backwards that it's like I have to struggle so much to even remember what happened, because it doesn't feel like anything happens, because everything is like directed very flatly, and also because of the sort of clustered way you get
The
information,
lack of animation.
and also the lack of animation. Like the show looks
this is
terrible.
very much a fucking moving manga PowerPoint ass show.
Okay, it's like
but,
I feel like every show this season's been pretty shit animation wise, aside from like a few.
Okay,
few
hold
ones.
on. You're gonna tell me My Dress Up Darling?
No, not My
is
Dress
gonna
Up
fall into
Darling, but
that?
like except for a few exceptions, this season is particularly really
Oh,
bad
yeah.
in terms of animation.
Okay, yeah, there we go. That's better.
Like I think
I'll agree with you on that front.
I think Requiem of Rose King just it's not very well directed. The way it once again relays the plot, it feels like things will happen, but it'll feel like nothing is happening, because you never have the context to understand what or why it's like what is happening or why it's happening. So you're just like, oh, well, that's a thing that happens. And it's like, it'd feel maybe slightly better if it was trying to be like, oh, this is a mystery, you have to figure this out. But it just, because everything is so flat in its presentation, it's hard to really get, it doesn't feel like a mystery. It feels like it's just trying to be artsy. And it's hard to get excited to learn the answer, because we also have no investment in the characters yet and learn nothing, because, once again, the way it relays information.
I can only assume that because this is based off of Shakespeare's Henry VI Part 3 and Richard III plays, that well, I don't know what even 100% their plays are just his stories. I can't tell you if the dialogue is like word for word taken from that, just like, but like instead of the old timey English, it's like converted into our normal level of speaking English. The modern English, I suppose. I couldn't tell you if it's one to one, but if it is, I think I know what my big problem with the show is outside of the flat directing and lack of animation. It's that the characters are taking this Shakespearean dialogue, which is like universally praised for how clever it is and how much character and life that it pumps into every scene that it's in, even outside of like it just being humorous. Like, fucking, when Julius Caesar's being betrayed by his best friend, and he's getting a fucking sword in the back, he even, the phrase, et tu, Brutus, is, like, legendary. It's, like, one of the most memorable lines of dialogue in fictional history. And it's just, like, and it just basically means, like, you too, Brutus. And, like, but, like, the reason you remember it so well is because it's not only accompanied by, the pivotal climactic scene of the act, but also it's like the parting words of Caesar, and he's accompanied by his final monologue of how he's been betrayed by his friend and how he's dying, and it feels like they've taken all of that and sucked it out of the show. Like if it's there, all the characters between the animation and the performances are not giving like the energy or the wit to deliver this dialogue.
Yeah, I definitely felt like the dialogue was very unwieldy, at times even a bit awkward. I don't have any like direct quotes, so I can't really back this up. But there were times where it was like, that line wasn't the greatest. It's not good.
I think, you know what, I the one moment that I can pinpoint to in my head was like when he's like smashing up shit in his room, or they rather, and they're smashing up shit in their room, and then the boar that he rescued earlier in the episode is like walks in. I can like picture in my head like how if this were like a play back in Shakespeare's era, Like the way that the actor would deliver the line would be like, "You ugly boy, you and I are the same." But like, there would be a level of like wistfulness to the delivery where like it would be sad, but also like the performance of the actor would like grasp your attention because it's a performance. Whereas this anime character, he's just saying it flatly, like, "You ugly boy, we're the same." He's just like saying it like dejectedly and sad boy to himself, and it's like like nowhere. It's like, that's what I was referring to when I said the witticisms and like charm and heart of Shakespeare's writing has been forcefully fucking aborted from this show.
Anything else to say?
No.
Nope.
No, sorry.
You don't have to
Armagon, I'll let you-
apologize.
It's not that memorable, and
Yeah.
it looks like people agree because I haven't seen it. I've seen people call it bad as online as well.
It has like a 57%
Armagon, I'll let
on
you-
any list.
I'll let you take the next show. We're gonna do In the Land of Leadale. I think that's how you pronounce it.
So something I noticed about that show was that when the girl finds out that the life support system went out and she is most likely not alive anymore, she just kind of doesn't react.
She reacts for like 1 second because with like quiet understanding of like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm fucking dead, huh?" And then you just kind of sweep it under the rug.
See, that's like, and this is to bring up like the kind of issue with those like reincarnation isekais, because there's not really like a moment of acceptance. They just kind of, okay, I'm this now.
I mean,
And-
I can
yeah, what
definitely
are you gonna
see.
do?
I can definitely see where like too much
I'm-
dwelling on like what happened
I'm
could
not
be
saying they
boring,
need
but I
to,
also
like-
get your
I'm
point.
not- I'm not saying they need to like break down or anything, but like I don't know. I feel like if that happened to you, like that'd be kind of a big deal. You know?
I mean, you're still alive, I guess, in a sense. You're alive in this new VR MMORPG
Mhm.
body.
But like we just kind of, I'm possibly dead. Okay, now let's continue the shenanigans of today's episode.
I mean, to be honest, this show wasn't like the worst one. It's just sort of okay, comfy kind
I'll
of thing,
agree.
but it didn't interest
I'll agree.
me.
Honestly,
I
it's
massively
definitely one of-
disagree.
for me, it's one of those shows where like if I'm bored, I guess I'll like kind of like jump
Yeah,
through
same.
it. I guess I'll just do.
It kind of felt a little Iyashike-esque.
I don't know
Yeah, it's
what that
basically
means.
Inuyashika, yeah.
Yeah,
But like basically,
Uh,
like I don't think it's like bad. It's not. Like,
I definitely.
It's like
I'm
whatever.
sorry, go
if
ahead.
I need to like relax or whatever, I guess I can turn it on. But like I'm
I-
not rushing to watch it. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
much.
wouldn't. It wouldn't be my first option, even as far as Iyashike go. Like, I would rewatch Eurocamp before I'd continue watching this show.
Mhm.
But I will say it already has like the fucking blonde elf girl Kana already has more charm and personality in like her first minute of introduction more than any character. No, not any. Every character from the last 3 shows combined.
Oh, for sure,
If
for
only
sure.
because- like,
who is
her
that?
facial animations, her
I'm
expressions.
trying to remember who that is.
The blonde
Land.
girl Kana.
Is
The
that
main
like the
character.
protagonist?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the elf
protagonist.
girl.
Oh yeah, she is an elf girl. I thought the protagonist is like very basic, but I guess she gets around being completely unlikable just because she's like, because it's an Iyashike and a show you're meant to relax to. The main character has like a bit more cheer and like, no, she seems a lot more joyful than most like generic protagonists. She's still a bit of a blank slate in my opinion, but she at least has a vibe that I guess some people can,
This-
just sort of chill to.
Yeah, it's not a show that requires like deep writing or whatever, like, or even like. You know,
I don't like to use the phrase "turn your brain off" because like if you
I mean,
like
I am a kaiju
yeah, you
fan.
can turn your brain off to fucking any show.
I mean, I am a kaiju fan, so turning my brain off is a thing I can do. But you know, it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's one of the better
don't like-
shows of this season.
I'm gonna have
Sadly,
to.
it's easily the best show to come out of fucking Maho film.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you guys are way more positive on this show than I thought you would be because I was bored as hell the entire time.
Oh,
Because
don't get me
it
wrong,
is-
I was bored
I
as
know,
well.
I
it's-
understand.
Yeah,
Listen,
I am
no-
not. I watched the
Crunchy,
2
no-
episodes of it, and I was skipping through the second episode.
Crunchy. None of us are saying the show's like good. We're just saying it's not.
Oh
like,
yeah, I get that.
bad.
I would
No,
give in
yeah,
the Land of
you-
Leadale the "At least you tried" award.
Yeah.
because it.
But like, what I
'cause
was
the other
getting
three
at
it
is
tried
that-
way harder than the last 3 shows.
it's like you guys are saying it isn't bad. I think it's bad, and I'd give it like at most a 3 out of 10. It is boring.
Really?
You put it on the same fucking par as High Guardian Spice.
I'd say 4 out of 10. Come on, man. I mean, I guess those scores don't really mean much, but yeah, I give it at least a 4 out of 10.
I mean, High Guardian Spice at least had the occasional kind of funny line, even if it was mostly boring. This is it was just such a flat line of just I do not care. This everything about this just rubs me the wrong way. It's so boring.
If I was still doing my isekai marathons that I used to do, honestly, like my scores are like my anime scores are a little bit different, but I could probably see myself like giving it a 6, but that was back when I used to like commit to watching these kinds of shows. Nowadays, I probably would give it lower.
I definitely can see, like, if I had like watched literally everything under the sun and was like, all right, I've like, if I can only watch new things to experience new things, then
That's honestly
I suppose.
See, now that I bring up my isekai marathon, that's another thing. I have like that perspective, and I've seen like way worse shows of this kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely do a lot worse, but you could also do a lot better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One thing that bothered me is that the most, at least in my opinion, the most interesting part of the show is the idea of like her being like stuck in a hospital bed. I wanted to at least see some of like her dealing with the emotions of that. You know, maybe a flashback to like how
I mean,
you know
maybe it's,
how
like, in
it
episode 2,
harmed
I
her,
don't know.
but
I only watched 1 episode.
maybe. But it's like I feel like that should have been at the beginning to get me invested.
Yeah,
but
like,
because it's sort of
weird
like
how,
an
like,
Iyashike.
the first scene is the power in the city going out, and then we just cut to the virtual world.
It was very awkward how we cut from a city's power going out, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is where we're gonna get like, you know, the classic isekai, like, oh, they're dying, they're reflecting on their life for like a couple lines of monologue, and then we like, you know, dry cut to like them being in the isekai world or something like that. But no, it just plays the OP and then cuts to her in bed. They just kind of skip over all the emotions of her being in like stuck in a hospital. You know, maybe it's probably going to be brought up later, but it's like I want that now. I want to get invested now. And until you show me that, I'm not going to be invested, and therefore I will be bored until you show me the actual interesting part of the character.
I think your problem, Evan, is that you're coming at this like low stakes show expecting higher stakes and you're not wrong necessarily to do that, but like this is the kind of show where the main girl is like, she's already ridiculously overpowered. She's got fucking like, she's able to do these fucking double spells and super high tier spells without even trying. She destroys everything in her path. And like all she cares about is eating some good food, like a fucking like shonen protagonist level of amount of food, and like her goal right now is just like to find her kids, because she has NPC children that she didn't create the fun way, but she made them as like a character creation thing. 2 biological, 1 adopted. Yeah, the last thing I want to note about Leadale was that I found it funny how her main goal at first is to find her tower to gather information, confirming that this game was developed by Ubisoft. I was hoping that joke would land harder.
I don't know enough about games for it to be funny. I'm not a gamer.
I did find it
Yeah.
amusing that Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple is still finding work these days.
So do we move on to the next show?
Damn, you fucking Zoomers don't know anything about fucking old shit.
Nope.
We don't.
Alright,
Yeah, I think we've said all we need to say about Leadale.
Let's move on to the next
So-
show. Quentin Tarantino's Sailor Uniform.
This is Quentin Tarantino's magnum opus. This is Black Panther. Akebi's Sailor Uniform, which I did not expect to be almost as good as My Dress Up Darling.
I
But
think you're giving.
It's right now. It's way better than I thought it'd be.
It's alright.
I think you're giving it-
It's alright.
It looks. See, until I noticed that it was being animated by the same studio, I was like surprised at I kind of like how good it was.
I went into the show knowing that it was Cloverworks, and I was expecting to be like, oh man, I coined the damn. Yeah, well, like the B team, I coined like in the summer podcast, like Crunchy and I did. I forget the acronym for it, but it's basically diminishing returns. Like the more shows released by one studio in one season, because that means they likely had to work on them at the same time and had to like divide up resources and manpower. They probably couldn't like make the show as good as it could be. I am incredibly shocked to see that Akebi Sailor Uniform looks not just almost as good as My Dress Up Darling, but it might look even better.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say Dress Up Darling definitely looks better of the two, but that's not a put down to Akebi-chan's Sailor
I would say it
Uniform.
looks better at points.
It does depend. Like it'll like shift. I'll say.
I prefer the art style and aesthetic of My Dress Up Darling, but I am surprised at how good Akebi looks. Like even in spite of how much effort had to go into My Dress Up Darling, and no doubt this was worked on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
the
the top two best looking shows of this block are like, at least in my opinion, first place Dress Up Darling, second place Akebi-chan's Sailor Uniform. Like they are close.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Though, if I'm gonna be honest,
say,
you
know
first.
how, hang on. When Crunchy talked about the second episode of Dress Up Darling kind of like lasting forever, that's kind of how I felt about the first episode of Akebi's.
I agree completely.
Like it felt like it's the standard 24 minutes, but like it felt way longer than that.
Oh, can I be honest there? I actually didn't even finish the first episode. Like, I thought it looked nice, but I couldn't bring myself to finish it.
Can I be honest?
Yeah?
I felt the literal exact opposite. I watched the first episode, looked over at my timer, I was like, what the fuck? 24 minutes passed? I thought it felt like 10 minutes.
That's how
It's not because the show is...
That's how I feel.
It's not because the show is fast-paced. It's because the show is very good. Not in like... And not just in like you'd say like, oh dude, Attack on Titan is so good. Oh dude, Demon Slayer is such a good show. It's good in the sense of like just watching it makes me happy.
I
It is,
understand
like,
that part.
At the foremost, it is a feel good show.
I understand.
It is. I wouldn't go as far as call it like Iyashike, but like it is definitely like it seems like every inch of it, every frame of animation, every background, every like score from the music feels like it's trying its hardest to put you in as good a mood as possible while you're watching it, and I think it succeeds.
I know I put Quentin Tarantino in a good mood.
We'll get to that as we go along. I want to give this one a more thorough look over as compared to the last few shows. So already this show, even more so than how Leadale put the last few fantasy shows that we talked about to shame, this one puts all of them in its fucking fist and like bounces it up and down like a basketball for like fucking Kobe 3-pointing it into a trash can. Because like just her running and doing those little gymnastic flips, talking about her idol, and like how all she wants in life is to wear a sailor uniform just like her idol did. and like that's her life goal. And like it's so like cute in how like low stakes and ultimately like frivolous and like meaningless in the grand scheme of things, but like just because it's her middle school girl passion, it's something so immediately endearing.
Yeah, I won't say that effect was lost on me entirely, but my biggest thing with this show, right? Like, I feel like the director, like, because he or she, I don't know who directed it, but because they knew that the show was gonna look pretty or whatever like that, I feel like they were like, okay, let's make each scene like last as long as possible because I know that it's entertaining on like a visual level. And I also feel like that was also like the intention was to basically get people to buy into the aesthetic of the show by, you know, making it last longer and like really feel like they're living in the show in a sense. But for me, it felt a little too long at points. It felt like they were dragging it out just a little too much and like maybe, you know,
Yeah, I get that.
trim
That's
some
what I
stuff
really
here
got
and
from
there. I feel like if they like lopped off like let's say a quarter of the episode and like condensed down what they already have, I feel like it'd be perfect and I'd be like singing its praises, you know, all the way up and down Heaven's Staircase or whatever. But because it's like a bit too long, because it's like it really wants you to, you know, buy into the aesthetic and like the vibe of the show and really relies on you vibing with it on that level. I don't quite vibe with it enough on that level to be entertained thoroughly when it's dragging its feet.
Speaking of feet,
What a great transition.
Oh man!
like,
I
isn't it such
like genuinely, I was not.
Ain't it such a
expecting-
fucking coincidence?
If I had a show for every Cloverworks show that had feet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. It's just weird that it's happened twice.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't it so odd that Cloverworks is not only to pump out these high quality animated shows in the same season, but that they also involve sewing and close up animated shots of I don't want to say sexualized because they're middle schoolers, but like someone on the animation team at the B team or whatever for Cloverworks definitely has a fetish, and they were maybe quietly happy that they were able to insert some propaganda. They were happy to assault some minds with subliminal messages.
Like, okay, but like actually,
Yeah, that
I
was
was
a
like
little weird
genuinely
there,
caught
yeah.
off guard here, though. Like I was not expecting.
Okay, like the opening like shot with her. Well, I say opening. Like the first shot we see of the feet, where it's like she jumps into the river and then she has to take off her shoes because they're soaked, and she's just like kicking her feet off the side of the truck that her neighbor's driving. And like that one shot, I was like, okay. I was like, at first I was like, haha, like foot fetish. It's funny because it's a shot of feet, and like memes aside, just having a shot of feet doesn't inherently like mean you got a foot fetish. And then we get to I know we're skipping ahead. We're getting to the girl who's clipping her toenails at the school, and then bring the clippers up to her nose and smelling them. And at this point, the foot fetish is no longer ironic. It is blatant. It is like either the author has one, or it could very easily be the author has one, and then the animation team was like, "Oh no, what? That's crazy, bro." And then like seeing it, and like they're meanwhile in the studio being like, "All right, we got to make this the most beautiful looking shit possible." And then fucking she takes off her own shoe and like fucking smells feet and literally says, "Man, I've been sweating, so mine probably smell a little weird, huh?"
Oh my
It's
god.
They really got Quentin Tarantino to direct this moment.
I was surprised to find out that not that this means anything, but I was surprised to find out that it was in fact a woman who is directing this show.
Hey, that's
Miyuki Kuroki.
Hey, if she has her own fetishes, I respect it.
Yeah, yeah. I shouldn't judge. More power to him, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I did. How many episodes of this did you guys watch? I watched both and had a great time.
I only watched.
I
didn't
watched-
get to the finish line.
I watched episode 1, and then it's definitely one of the better shows this season. I'll give you that, all right? Because that complaint
It is
about
definitely a solid.
like
second
it being
place.
too slow, it's still like solid. It is not bad. It is, in fact, I'd say the first episode outright pretty decent. And so I put it on paused and was like, okay, I will eventually catch up on this, you know, see where it goes, maybe drop it down the line, maybe finish it. It's not off the table yet.
Like every aspect of the show, I know I said it before, it just is designed to make you smile and feel happy and warm and fuzzy on the inside. We get introduced to her adorable little sister character who, like, the first shot we see of her when Akebi gets home, she's already got her arms around her waist because she only comes up to her waist and she's like looking up at her, and it's like fucking the cutest shit ever. The mom is pretty hot. She even though her face is permanently contorted into a smile like the Joker, I don't think we see her not smile once in the first episode.
I remember the screenshot you sent in the general chat of her with that
I'll
creepy
put the
smile.
screen cap of it in the podcast. Yeah. I don't know why she has that creepy of a smile on, but at least it looks good.
I will say it was very refreshing to have a show that actually was like aesthetically nice after 90% of this season immediately made me go like, I'm not
Dude, it's
continuing
fucking night
this
and
on
day.
just the visual level. Yeah, like night and day.
If I may be so bold, you could have told me that KyoAni worked on this show, and I would have been like,
Okay, I wouldn't go there at all.
It's not the style.
wouldn't
It's
go
not the
there at
KyoAni
all.
style.
I will. Yeah, it's not the type of show. Well,
I'd say like the
KyoAni I could conceivably see KyoAni making the show,
I'd say the
but like
closest thing
maybe
to that would be,
I
like, the
am
eyes.
damning it with too high praise.
I think the eyes is like the closest thing, but like even
Yeah,
then,
like the character designs absolutely feel
it
like
is a
fucking
type, and, like,
KyoAni.
here's like the thing: it is a type of show KyoAni would do, but it doesn't look like KyoAni made it. Is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna look at the character designer on Mal real quick just to see if I can like find some. Okay, character designer Masato Ano. I want to see what they've worked on. Character design for Slow Start, hilariously enough. Character design. They've been the key animator on Monogatari, Madoka, Little Busters. Niso Monogatari. I'm
Oh,
looking for
so-
anything that KyoAni made.
Well, it seems like they're kind of
you-
a Shaft guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuri, Rokubu, Madoka again, Ikamusame. Okay, there's nothing. There I see Kodama no Jikon, so if you like your middle school lolly fetish, then I can see where the influence flooded in here. No, surprisingly no KyoAni.
Yeah.
But it does.
I wouldn't go that far in the first place, but yeah.
If in that case, I would say they're like a midpoint between something Dogakobo.
Yeah,
would make and
Dogakobo.
something.
Dogakobo is more like.
I would say it's honestly like in terms of because like Dogakobo emphasizes like the cuteness more, and like while these girls are
mean-
cute, there's I would say there's like a sense of beauty in the animation and the artwork that like takes it like they place them in a midpoint between KyoAni and Dogakobo.
I wouldn't
I just don't
necessarily
see
say
the KyoAni at
Dogakoba.
all.
I'd say definitely
maybe
not.
I'm
definitely
the crazy
not.
one.
Yeah, a little bit because Dogakobo likes its very poppy, flashy colors, whereas this is more like the colors are a bit more realistic, a bit less vibrant. You know, just watch one frame of New Game and it's like, okay, Dogakobo really likes cranking those colors up to fucking not just 11 but 12 and 13 and maybe
when
even
they blind
14.
my eyes.
Yeah, so I don't voice crack. I don't really see the Dogakobo comparison. The KyoAni thing maybe is still a bit loose, but definitely not Dogakobo in my opinion.
I like the part where the little sister smacked her ass.
Okay,
That
that was
my
okay,
introduction.
That was funny.
That was my introduction to the show. I was like, look, that clip was floating everywhere on Instagram, and I was wondering the context for it because the only thing she said was blazers are cute, right? And then she just gets real upset and walks over and then fucking I like it cut G, just gives her 5 across the ass. I know we glossed over it, but like, man. How about the fucking toenail clipping scene, huh?
Yeah,
that was kind of weird.
something.
It was probably one of the more
Like-
engaging scenes of the episode just because it is kind of weird and like, what's going on? But I mean, in the
I
end,
was definitely caught the most off guard by it.
I thought it was a fine scene.
While looking to see what the general consensus of the show online was, I saw this one forum post on Mal by user Dragavard, and I would like to read an excerpt of it to you now because I feel like it is worth sharing. We learn that Kazaki enjoys the act of clipping nails as it eases her anxiety, but never does she ever clean up after herself. She sat at the back of the corner of the room clipping her nails when she was first introduced. Once Akebi sat down at her assigned seat, we found out that the seat she initially clipped her nails on wasn't her assigned seat. Since she doesn't clean up after herself means that she created a hazardous mess for another student. This doesn't just affect a single student, but the whole class. When lunchtime comes around, the students move around so the nails are bound to get caught up in other students' shoes too.
my
Slowly
God.
chip away at the shoes' life. This is just the first episode, meaning she's bound to be clipping her nails whenever she got the chance to be in the future. Who knows how many shoes the class will need to go through in a single school year because of her. Just because she looks cute while clipping nails doesn't excuse her mischief. I am in full agreement. That bitch, we did not see her clean up after her nails. I didn't see a trash can around that desk once. So she's just leaving her grody ass nails all over the floor. I will not abide by this behavior. I will not stand for it.
That post is amazing. My God, that is.
So yeah, if you felt like My Dress Up Darling wouldn't get you on a watch list fast enough, then Akebi Sailor Uniform is the show for you. One good thing I will say about it before we move on is that in the second episode, they do go out of their way to try to introduce as many of the girls in the class as possible. And going off of the opening, too, it does look like all 16 of the girls in class have their own unique design and will be characters in the show, which is, I think, is cool in the sense that we don't often see that in anime. We usually just focus on, like, a group of 4 to 5.
Yeah, I
And
really.
it'll be interesting to see, like, how...
Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, I'm interested to see how they're going to balance all 16 characters, because I can't imagine that they're all gonna be winners, but I just want to see them at least attempt it, because we so often don't see them even attempt to go outside of like 5 main characters in this like schoolgirl kind of show.
Yeah, something I really like when shows attempt to do is like just pile on a bunch of characters in like a single place and have them all be relevant. Like, I love the scene from Nichijou where, like, all the students are lined up and everyone has, like, an odd little joke or quip here and there to say. You know, so I like scenes like that. So that does make me a bit more interested in continuing the show.
There's also this one shot in episode 2 of a wood floor that is, I swear to God, is either like really good CG or a photograph with the most god tier lighting and compositing possible, because it looks so fucking good. And I can't tell whether it's one or the other. I'll put a picture of it on screen right now. I'll put a clip of it. But oh my God. Look at it.
Wait, did you send it?
Yeah, I don't see it.
No, no, I said I put it up on the podcast. I don't have a picture on me right now.
All right.
But
Dang.
all right, well, I think we've gone through Akebi's Sailor Uniform enough. It's really cute. I give it a strong recommend.
It's alright. I couldn't get through it, but hey, if you can, more power to you.
I'd give it a light recommendation. Although it's still like one of the best things this season, so, you know, just goes to show. the light recommendation is probably going to be in my top 3 shows of the season.
Well, you know what? I woke up this morning and I said morning because if it were a good morning, I'd be fishing just like my girl blue character from Slow Loop.
Blue
I couldn't care enough to
character.
remember her name.
The one funny part of Slow Loop I found was when the main character said, "My dad died from a very popular disease," and I just want to know, at what point is a disease popular?
I mean,
Would you
COVID.
describe cancer as a popular or unpopular disease?
Very
In the
popular.
sense of that it's one of the most well-known diseases, or unpopular in the sense of no one wants cancer.
That's just a weird way to describe it. Like, who describes a disease as popular? Like,
Yes, Micah,
Yeah.
keep typing on your keyboard. It'll sound great on the audio.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't think I made it. I don't think I made it far enough into the episode to get to the popular disease line because I did not finish this.
that was like 2 minutes in, but I don't blame you because this was also like a 5-minute drop.
I skipped around a little bit, but I did end up watching the entire first episode just to like see, mainly because the epic fishing meme, which is a good meme, but I just wanted
It's a good meme, but
I
this
wanted
is
to
a
see where it
bad
went.
show.
Based on the synopsis, I thought it was gonna be like Eurocamp but fishing, but that's like an insult to Eurocamp. So
Yeah, I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be one of those cute girls doing cute things show, but this time it's fishing. But then, like, after what we can call the first act, it was almost like the show was like, all right, we had to get all the fishing knowledge out of the way now, so we can make room for all this family melodrama. By the way, my dad fucking died, and I'm conflicted about my mom remarrying, and then the girl that she meets, who also. I thought the girl was a boy at first because she is androgynous as fuck.
Is she? I forget her design.
She sounded like a boy, or at the very least, like one of those characters where it's like Shoda from Dragon Maid, where I think it's a girl voicing him, but like they just putting on a really like feminine boy voice.
Mm.
And I thought it was like that, but like even more so for this character. And then he meets this girl who, as soon as the girl brought up that they were their mom was remarrying, I immediately was like, oh, let me fondle my crystal balls real quick and see where this is going. This girl that you just met for the first time is going to also have a parent who is remarrying, and lo and behold, that is exactly what happened.
I thought I didn't make it to the end, but it's like from what I did watch, it got really weird quickly for me.
All right. So I started this show, right, and thinking of all the possibilities, and everything was just the most generic sort of like cute girls sort of trope. At least it felt like to me. I saw the energetic girl, and it felt like the most like exactly what you expect for like a sort of Genki girl like that. Like the dialogue, I can see some people finding some of her lines charming. They're sort of like ditzy and silly, but like they just felt so flat to me, and like this is exactly what I'd expect this kind of character to say. And the one blue-haired girl, I don't remember her name. Like, I generally like that kind of character a lot, right? But once again, it's just so flat. Maybe in a show with, like, a better deuteragonist, I'd be able to, fall for the protagonist. But as it is, it's just so basic. And, like, I know there's, like, a bit of a meme with, like, oh, all the cute girls show are just cute girl does X thing. Japan needs every single action to be performed by cute girls in an anime, lest they never be satisfied. But
the girls aren't even that
this
cute.
is, yeah, true. This is just the meme. It's so basic, so generic. I can't say anything about it other than it's just, it just exists. It exists.
The thing that bothered me the most about the show is the pacing, because it is so fucking weird how Act 1 of the episode is like fishing, and then Act 2 is family melodrama, and then Act 3 is fishing, more fishing knowledge. And it's like so segmented and divided. Like there's no middle ground where in other shows of this nature like Eurocamp or Danberu, where the two can like intersect.
Mm-hmm.
Where there can be moments where we learn about the knowledge of like camping or exercise, but then also take part in like day-to-day life scenes where like camping can be brought up or exercising can be brought up, but it's not like the main focal point. Like it's just an element. And whereas in this show, it's either, if we're not talking about fishing, we're dealing with family melodrama. If we're not dealing with the melodrama, we're talking about fishing.
You know, as a non-fan of Eurocamp, this is just Eurocamp but bad. And I think Eurocamp is bad, so that's how you know. I really did not like this show.
The only slow loop is the loop I want to be tying around my neck very slowly.
Alright.
It's not that bad. It's just there's so many fucking cute girl doing cute things shows. You can do way better.
This is one of the most
You don't gotta waste your
interchangeable, basic cute girls doing cute things.
She told me it was me or fishing, and this time I think I gotta pick me. I gotta pick her.
Sadly. You know, I feel like this show expected me to be into fishing, like before I watched it. Like either super into the cute girls or super into fishing, and I'm into neither. Well, I mean, okay, I'm into cute girls, but only if they have a personality.
The dichotomy of the cute girl doing cute thing, like a hobby genre kind of show, is that you are either already into it and you just want to see an anime or a manga talk about this thing that you heavily enjoy, or you are interested in learning about it and you watch this thing and then you become more like enthused or interested about it. Like how Eurocamp could, like, even if you don't like the idea of camping, seeing it happen in Eurocamp could like turn you on to it. And I can definitely see it applying to people who are either already into fishing or would like to be into fishing or are open to the idea.
I mean, but it's like even Eurocamp, which once again, I don't like. I think Eurocamp is bad, but even that got me feeling at least a certain way about camping. Like, you know, maybe I want to go put my tent out in the woods and, you know, camp maybe with like a friend or something. But I can't imagine it ever getting me into fishing because the characters are just so unappealing in like, what do I even connect with to them?
The answer is nothing.
Yeah.
Because outside of fishing, there is nothing really to connect to. It's just kind of bland.
Yeah. And anything else you want to say?
Nope.
No, nothing.
Then I guess we're moving on.
I feel like this next show is going to be the last show of the night where we have a decent amount of things to say about it, or at least like a varied, a more nuanced discussion. Because this is the third Cloverworks show, and this is Tokyo 24th Ward.
No, I just want to get it out. I did not finish the first episode, not because I thought it was boring or anything. I just didn't finish it. I was like halfway through, and then started doing something else.
I got
to
8
be fair,
minutes.
it was also double length.
Oh,
yeah,
it was.
okay, so I have a funny story.
Yep.
All right, so I was around 8 minutes into the episode, and at this point I had already put it on to 2x speed. So, like, you know, I'm bored, so I'm like, okay, let me check this and see how much of the episode I have left. I go down to the timeline, and it says 39 minutes left, and I immediately...
Isn't that the fucking worst feeling in the world?
Yeah, my mouse shoots up to the X button on the tab, closes it immediately, and I'm like, fuck no. No way.
Yeah,
I'm not
remember when we
finishing
covered
that.
Detective
No
is
way.
Already Dead?
Wait, guys.
Literally me, bro.
Wait, guys, I just looked up on AniList what show this is. I dropped this in the first 5 minutes. What's there much to say about this show?
Wow, okay, I guess I'm the asshole then.
Okay, why don't you tell me why you like have a lot to say? Like, I'm curious, actually.
Okay, I only have a lot to say.
Hang on, before Neon starts talking, I will say, at least the beginning does have like a little bit of an emotional like element to it.
Hook.
But I didn't watch enough of the episode to fully form an opinion. So,
Okay, so since apparently none of you guys made it past the halfway mark, what if I told you that this show was Minority Report by way of giving them Naruto Sharingans?
I would have no idea
I
what
guess
that means.
I guess that sounds somewhat interesting, but go on, yeah.
Okay, well, it also sounds like Evan is too much of a zoomer to know what Minority Report is.
True, I have no idea what that is.
Fucking get cultured, you Philistine. Hold on, let me fact check something real quick. Frank, have you heard of Minority Report?
I've heard of it. I think I know like the basic premise, but I haven't.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I didn't have to throw two people under the bus.
Mhm.
All right, so this show, it starts off with this team of it. They don't establish it right away. In fact, they don't even like fully establish it in the first episode. But apparently, either this girl just calls them RGB, or they were like a local team of maybe not necessarily like heroes, but or, like in the like super sense, in like the superhero sense, but like they would use their skills and come together to like help people out. Maybe just like sort of like a volunteer thing or something.
Huh.
And so the episode opens with this flashback to a fire at a school that's going to
No, that's not.
has killed all 7.
No, Isaac.
That's not how it opens?
That's not how it opens. The episode opens with someone getting run over. That's like the first thing that happens.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. It opens
yeah.
with a little girl getting run over by a car, so I was already on board.
Like
I was like, yes, I am pro little.
I was not.
Listen, man, the little girl fucking ran out into traffic. It was.
She didn't even run out.
That was just natural
She
selection.
didn't even run out. No, because like other people were crossing the sidewalk, so like the car was just going too fast.
Well, was the car going too fast or was she going too slow, Frank?
And
Yes,
and
we got in life. We got to make these choices.
Listen, I thought that would be like brought up, but like no, they just keep putting like other like recorded images that have nothing to do with each other.
And apparently, it's being watched by what is apparently anime Cortana, which they don't explain in the first episode, by the way. But I assume it'll be touched on later. I only watched the first episode because as soon as I saw it was double length, I was like, yeah, I'm not giving this any more time. Like you've gotten 2 episodes worth of time in 1 episode, so this is your time to impress me. And it's not outstanding, but it's worth looking further into. So that fire happens at that elementary school. The dude hilariously headbutts his friends who are trying to prevent him from going in there and in risk of him dying in the fire as well. And he's able to find the 2 girls that he's looking for, but one of them had pushed the other out of the way so that they wouldn't get crushed by rubble, and she ends up dying because of it. And then we cut to a year later, and it seems like the 3 friends have gone their separate ways after the incident. They graduated from the high school. The blue guy is kind of aimless. He just works at his parents' bakery. The red-haired dude, who's the most interesting of the 3, he is a graffiti artist who has a YouTube channel where he disguises himself, and he and his crew just kind of protest against this government corporation that's implementing this new system, which is pretty much Minority Report. It's the pre-crime thing. They call it Hazard Cast, where it's a computer system that has all of these surveillance systems and is able to detect like crimes or like car crashes, and then have these police people or like security essentially dispatch like almost immediately. Like there's an incident where there's a car accident on the road, and literally within 5 seconds of it happening, there's already dispatch there assisting with like ambulance and trying to gurney people out of the that Gurney the injured out of the way. And then what happens is all three of them receive a phone call from what is presumably, my bad, the ghost of the dead girl from the fire, who tells them about the trolley problem, but instead of just a trolley, it's this high-speed bullet train that's going into the city, and one of their friends, she's got her foot stuck in the rail, so she offers, what would you do? Would you stop the train, derail it, and cause all the people in it to die? Or would you let the girl who is stuck on the track get hit and die? And then, after asking them that, she fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blasts their brains through their phones into their ears and gives them all that Minority Report pre-crime vision of both scenarios happening, and then leaves them with fucking Sharingan lenses that gives them superpowers. It turns the blue guy, it makes him run faster, jump higher. It makes the red guy... Oh my god, I completely skipped over the green guy. I just realized. Green guy's not too interesting. He is the son of the mayor of the city, who is trying to put up the hazard cast program. And he's trying to... He's in on the project, but only because he doesn't have full faith in it and wants to try to, like, flesh it out as the best he can to make it, you know, more applicable, more efficient. And then, so then the power that the red-haired dude gets, the graffiti artist, he is able to hack into shit. Like, his brain is fucking firing off at like 10 times the speed. He's like chugging down energy drinks, fucking Red Bull Monster Energy, and able to hack into shit like real fucking good. Is that the coolest thing? And the green guy, I forget what power he gets. I think it gives him a photographic memory. That's the only thing I could parse from it. It's definitely not as flashy as the power that the blue guy gets. But then they use their powers to not only stop the train without it derailing and killing all the people inside, but also save the girl from getting hit by the train. That's the show.
At least for me, right? Well, all right. So the first thing that immediately sort of put me off about the show is like, all right, so you get the opening, you know, like gets run over by a car, but then there's like this sort of esoteric, seemingly trying to be philosophical dialogue that just sort of came off as meaningless to me. And like, I hate when shows start off with like pointless, pretentious dialogue that's like trying to come off as smart, or at least feels like it is.
And yet he likes Monogatari.
Okay, but Monogatari at least didn't start with it. It started with something with a bit more substance to it.
I suppose a stapler to the face is a lot more engaging than whatever the fuck these guys are talking about.
Yeah. But the second thing that rubbed me off about the show, so you'll recall earlier that I said that if a show does not have good visuals, it immediately disengages me from it. And like, no chance I'll pick it up unless it like has a premise so good I can overlook it, or like something so captivating to me. And it's definitely the worst of the Cloverworks shows from a visual perspective. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
But something about the visuals.
I like the character designs because they're not as good as the ones from the last two shows from Cloverworks this season, but I like them in just how out there they are. They're not so like wild and like clashing color schemes and shit like that. They're like flashy enough. Like everyone in the fucking graffiti guys crew looks fucking awesome. Either of you guys made it that far?
I
did.
The characters look.
Do you remember like the girl in the yellow coat?
I do not.
She was like the dark skinned girl.
I'm looking at
she was my
the
favorite.
Characters list, right? Well, trying to find the Oh, okay, and then.
I think her name was Lucky.
All right, yeah, there is Lucky. Yeah, she looks cool. Like I like how the characters. I like how the characters look, but something about those characters on these backgrounds created the sort of clash in my mind that just it feels bad to look at in a way that's difficult to put into words. But I could
think
not
I can-
stand the aesthetic.
I think I can put it into words for you. I think that despite this show trying to have like a slightly more futuristic setting than the time it's taking place in, because it's supposed to be taking place in 2021, but it's got like technology and shit that should be like 10 to 15 years ahead of where we are. Like they got holograms and shit. I think it's sort of oddly enough, watching this show reminded me of Mutaking the Dancing Hero that we were supposed to cover last season in a podcast that I had to scrap.
It does.
It reminded me
It
of
is kinda
that,
like that.
in the sense of it's got similar character designs, but the world that the characters inhabit in Mutaking look like they match the characters, like thematically, whereas these designs don't quite match. Like despite having technology that should be like 10 to 15 years ahead of where we are, it still kind of looks just like present day Japan.
Yeah. And like it feels like the backgrounds are a lot more washed out than what feels natural for these characters, at least to me.
Yeah, the backgrounds aren't as colorful as the characters.
And another thing visually about this show that I just thought was kind of funny was like during the fire scene, I'm not sure if they actually did, but it looks as if they took a green screen of an actual fire
They
and
probably
overlaid
did because
that.
yeah, that was the one part of the show that was like, oh yeah, that just looks very ugly.
That was awful. And so
it's not as bad as like Golden Kamui is what they did, but it's only like a step above that.
So seeing those visuals plus the esoteric dialogue at the very beginning, I could not give a fuck. I couldn't continue.
It's hard to talk about the quality of the show without the rest of y'all having seen it. There is this really nice scene at a restaurant where they're cooking food on the grill in front of them, and they have some nice chemistry going back and forth. I will be checking out the other episodes, if only to see if it gets any like better, because I'm interested in the Minority Report meets fucking Naruto Sharingan powers, because like that's enough of a unique hook to get me in. If it doesn't keep up that level of intrigue, then I can definitely see myself dropping it. Like, I cannot see myself dropping Dress Up Darling or Akebi's Sailor Uniform. This I can absolutely see falling off.
No, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I didn't get to the end, but hey, who knows?
And,
I've enjoyed shows for more menial reasons, so yeah, I can see it.
Hey fellas, Neon from the future here. Armagon had to bow out for the rest of this podcast, but he will be back for the second part, and he has promised not to commit any more crimes against audio quality. Now, back to the show. Alright, it's time to move on to some goddamn propaganda.
I
Talking
actually
about
really
police
like
in a
this
pod.
show, though. It was sweet and cute.
Wait, you like this
And
show?
I liked it. Yes. Like,
It must be fucking opposite day over in Indonesia.
What?
Because this is the first show of the block that I had to put on double speed to get through.
I
don't
didn't
know,
put it. I didn't put it on double speed at all, but oh god, I was dreadfully bored by the end of it. This show was not good at all. And,
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the better shows, but it's like, hey, it entertained me the whole way through. I like the interactions and stuff.
I don't know how that happened, but I guess we'll see. So how do we want to cover this? I mean, I guess I can just briefly regale the plot. So basically, there's two police women, and they exist, and one of them is basically got demoted for bullying her kohai, and the other one is basically she wants to quit being a police officer because they get hassled on the job because of ACAB, and so and yeah, they're just paired
the main
together.
girl wanted to work with a steady income at an easy job, so naturally she fucking joined the police.
But then
which would not have
ACAB
been my first choice.
definitely not mine either. Risking my life, not worth it.
Yeah, of course.
Not even in that sense. I was in the sense of like, she immediately establishes to us that like all she wants in a job is a steady income because she doesn't have many aspirations. But like,
well, she
I
was
would
also
assume that even people without aspirations don't want to become police officers because I feel like that requires a level of dedication physically and mentally.
well, the show also does establish that like her father said one time while she was drunk that he wanted her to become a social worker, and while it's played up as a joke, I feel like that's the explanation the show is giving as to why she became a police
basically
officer.
the explanation.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the explanation, like more or less.
The explanation, as well as wanting a steady income. So, I'm not too torn up about her choosing to become a police officer.
I mean, the show.
All I can see when I look at this show is the fact that it was made by Madhouse, and I look at the name Madhouse, and I look at the show, and I feel sad. Like this is where
I did the
this is
same
where we are
thing.
now.
Dude, Madhouse made like Ora Monogatari and No Game No Life, two shows that look really solid in my opinion. And granted, I'm
And this
missing out on
looks
a lot of
ugly as
Madhouse's.
shit.
Made One Punch.
Yeah.
This show looks like ass.
It looks
the
like
character
shit.
design.
It looks like
The
shit.
colors-
I admit.
What happens to
girls
like the
look
bright poppy
ugly.
colors? Oh yeah, they do. They look horrendous. The character.
Their fucking eyes. They're like doll eyes. Like even more so than fucking Akebi-chan. Which like they'll occasionally go into like stills in that show where it's like almost like hyper realistic, but like even then like those stills kind of take me out of the show sometimes, if only because they're motionless when they feel like they should have motion in them. This is how in this show, this is how they normally look. This is how they look 24/7, and they look ugly.
These, like, whoever was in charge of translating the original manga's designs into animation,
They fucked up.
why?
Hold on, I want to see what the manga looks like. Because I want to see if it looks better or worse than what we're given.
I'm right now on the AniList page here. Police in a Pod manga.
It doesn't look like the kind of art style I find appealing.
But I think putting that kind of art style into motion is a huge mistake just in general.
Yeah.
It feels like something that could be tolerable still, but is horrendous when put to animation. Some creative liberties should have been taken when putting this on the screen. Or at least more than were taken.
The only like visual that I noted about the show that stuck out in my mind is like the Rooter girl, the sergeant. All I could think of when I looked at her was Yaoyorozu from My Hero Academia.
I have not seen My Hero, so I do not get that reference.
I sort of liked it. Like the characters, like I won't say like they're good at all, but they entertained me.
I like that. I like the meme that I see floating around the show is that it's goddamn propaganda, but like they don't shy away from showing like the outright contempt that these people have for these cops.
That is true. I do find that funny.
Yeah.
And they straight up tell them to their face like, "Shut up, you damn hags, you fucking tax parasites. I hope you fucking rot."
Her dad
and,
almost
like,
calls...
in my head, I'm thinking like, are you allowed to like, I guess you can't get arrested for insulting an officer, but like, I'm surprised at how much lip they're giving these people who like have like this much. Not to say that police officers have like any more authority or like power than the average person, aside from like what their job entails. They enforce the law, they don't make the law.
Yeah.
Like,
But I wouldn't fuck with an officer.
oh, definitely.
And
not.
only in the sense of like if an officer pulled me over, like the only is probably to give me a ticket like these ones are doing, and it would be like I would try everything in my head, like, all right, remain calm. Maybe if I am nice and like if I am at my best behavior, they will like go easier on me and just like let me off with a warning.
Yeah, that's how
I
it
feel
goes.
like. I feel like being like, hey, what's up, fucking dickbag, and write me a fucking ticket. I feel like that's just inviting trouble.
Yeah. And also the fact that they have a deadly weapon. Maybe you don't want to insult that guy.
Well, no. At that point, they're a fucking crooked cop. If they're gonna
True.
pull a gun on you for fucking back talk, that's
that's a little
not
too
right.
far.
Maybe that
That's where we
death
get
would
the
be
fucking ACAB
unavoidable.
movement.
In terms of the characters, alright, so the one girl is supposed to be rude, but she didn't actually come off as like particularly rude. There weren't really that many, like, it felt like the show
Well, I
would
feel
have
like
instances
that's-
where she was kind of rude, but then her general personality is just the exact same as the main character, it feels like.
Well, no, she's ruder to like her criminal affairs buddies, but the reason that she's not rude to like the criminals is that well, at least to their faces, like when they drive away after insulting her, after they give her a ticket, she's like, I'm only fucking trying to help you. You could have hurt someone, you fucking asshole. How about you fucking go suck my dick, bitch?
Yeah,
Like,
that
the
was
reason that she has to put on that face is because like she's like, man, you know what? Being a cop sometimes it can feel like a thankless job, but if I can prevent even one tragedy, then I'll feel like it'd been worth it. That's the only bit of the show that stuck out to me.
Oh, yeah,
And,
that
like
was
that's the
nice.
idea. Like that's the mindset that every cop should have, and it's
Yeah.
sad that it feels like that's not the case today.
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't mind her putting on like that straight face for all the people who shit talk her, but when it's like her general personalities with the main character, I want that to be a bit ruder, maybe have a bit more flair to it. But as it stands, they all felt very dry and like not very engaging.
I had to put the show on double speed because the things they were talking about were so fucking uninteresting and not funny that when I put it on double speed, I feel like the pacing of the jokes worked better. So I
Oh,
can't
yeah, I put
imagine
this
how
on double
fucking
speed as well,
insufferable.
and that's how I got enjoyment out of it.
So I
Well,
feel
okay,
like
that
I
makes
can only
sense.
imagine how insufferable it must have been at regular speed, where it's like the same joke but drawn out.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be real. Besides, like, Smile Down the Runway, I'm not Smile. I mean, fucking Biscuit Doll. What's it called again?
Dress
Dress
Up
Up
Darling.
Darling. Yeah. All the shows so far have been on double speed.
Oh. Huh.
Damn. Akebi got my fucking full attention, but this one, the only top tier thing about this show is the really good romanization of the title Police in a Pod, as in peas in a pod, but if they say it with like Japanese katakana, it'd be like puris in a pod. Police.
I'm pretty
It
sure
kinda
the
sounds like
Japanese
you're
name is
mispronouncing
different, isn't
peas.
it?
Oh yeah, it's like Hakazumi something.
Yeah.
Hakazumi Koban Joshi no Gyakushu. But like the English, whoever was in charge of writing the English title gets a pat on the back for this really smart title.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
I bet they're like so proud of themselves. Like, damn, I really outdid myself today.
It's clever. I'll give them that. It's clever.
I like the title. If it were a show that had actually good characters, I'd be praising the title all day and being like, "Oh,
I
that's the
feel like
cutest
this-
title ever."
This is a show that could work, but I wouldn't give it to Madhouse, well, modern day Madhouse. B, I would definitely get someone who could take these character designs and maybe like doll them up a little, because they don't translate well to animation.
See,
Is
it's
the
not
modern
even
show designs any
just-
good?
I'm looking at them and I'm like, they look kind of the same. They still got like the doll eyes.
Oh, never.
But
fan
like
of that.
I'm looking at the poster of the show, and I'm looking at all the dudes surrounding the girls, and they dead ass look like they're from the how to draw manga books you'd see at like fucking
Yeah.
Kohl's.
It's not even like just
Like,
the
you see it like
character
that and, like,
designs.
Michael's.
Like the actual animation is so like stiff and limited, and all the expressions were very robotic, and like nothing stands out visually. Like when it got to the jokes, right? I kept on expecting the animation style to change or something, like some sort of visual flair to the jokes, but there was never that visual flair, except in the one instance where she was like, you know, cursing to people behind their backs because they talk shit about her. But that was like the most generic visual, like sort of visual flair that like every show does whenever they're like muttering under their breath. And it just nothing, like the visuals were so flat and the colors were ugly, the animation was stiff. It's a bad looking show.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree
Yeah.
there.
It just makes me sad thinking about like, why did Madhouse fall off? Like, what was the exact point where Madhouse fell off?
I need to catch up on a lot of the old Madhouse library because, I mean, the only shows I think I've seen from them are like No Game, No Life,
I'm pretty sure the last good
Monogatari.
one is One Punch Man, I think.
Okay, I might be horribly
Oh wait, no.
misremembering this.
A Place Further Than the Universe. That's Madhouse.
Okay, I was literally about to say, didn't Madhouse do Place Further Than the
Okay,
Universe?
so 2018
Yeah.
it was still good.
Oh, they did Sunny
Okay.
Boy.
Oh, I like Sunny Boy.
Well, Shingo Natsume directed that one. He's like one of the big Madhouse guys. Who directed Police in a Pod? Because I guarantee it was not fucking Shingo Natsume.
Literally some
Yuzu
nobody.
Sato.
Probably some nobody.
It's some guy
let's
named-
be real.
Yuzu Sato. Let's see. What did he do? He directed a lot of Marvel shit.
What?
He also storyboarded on Attack on Titan, it looks like.
Oh.
Let's see, but he mainly directed Future Avengers. He directed the first Hunter x Hunter movie.
That's something.
He directed Iron Man, One Outs. Okay, that's the only thing of note that I see. He directed One Outs from Madhouse. Wait a second. Is this the... Okay, he directed... I get my Kaijis confused, but he directed Kaiji Ultimate Survivor. I don't know if that's like the when people say Kaiji... Okay, he also directed the sequel. Okay, he directed Kaiji.
But Kaiji's amazingly directed. This is boring in comparison.
Okay, yeah, he directed like 3 different seasons of Kaiji.
I mean, there's only 2.
What else did he do? What is Tohai Densetsu Akagi? Akagi, my
yeah.
bad. That's different. Okay, my bad.
That's still weird though. That's so weird.
Yep, okay, he's most well known for One Outs and Kaiji.
Okay, so we have like an industry veteran working on this like crap. Like I don't get it at all.
Yep.
They fell off.
I mean-
they really fell off.
not to shit on Sunny Boy, but I think Shingo Natsume could be doing bigger things.
I don't know. I like Shingo. I like Sunny Boy for the most part.
I
I only
have.
watched the first episode on that stream,
Yeah.
so I'll have to watch more one day, maybe.
I want to watch
Nice.
more of it. I still have it on paused.
Let's see. Yep, I think that's all that needs to be said about Police in a Pod.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a sad state of affairs over at Madhouse.
Very.
But you
very
know where it's
bad
not a sad
show.
state of affairs? Studio Quad, because you can't have a state of affairs when this is your first ever show.
What
And they're
did
making-
Studio Quad do?
They're doing Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department.
Oh, that show. So, okay, this was one of, at least in my opinion, one of the more tolerable shows of this block. I wouldn't say
this
it's
is
good.
definitely. It's not great, I'm willing to watch the second episode.
I am not
Oh
willing
yeah,
to
I
watch
watched the
the
first
second
episode for
episode.
this.
I didn't I didn't read the synopsis going into it, but as soon as like they started going through the list of like Power Ranger characters, I was like, oh my god, is this like is this gonna be like a show about Power Ranger Sentai characters and the lady who works for like the basically this is like for the Power Rangers bros in the audience. This is basically like if Finster from the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger show had his own show and he was an anime girl.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, because they make the monsters that they have to go fight I'm a little sad that they fight what is essentially Kamen Rider and not the Power Rangers, because I always liked Power Rangers more than Kamen Rider, because I think having a team of heroes is cooler than just one dude.
At least for me, Kuroitsu-san, none of the characters really stood out for me, and that was the main thing, I think, holding it back. But the first scene where she's, like, trying to pitch the monster, but, like, it's obviously terrible, that was, like, pretty entertaining the entire way through. It got a few chuckles out of me. I wouldn't say it's absolutely hilarious, but I enjoyed my time with it. I don't really remember much from... I don't remember the second half very well. So I imagine it probably wasn't as good, but my memory is failing me.
The second half of the episode, they're making the wolf guy, who then turns into the wolf girl.
Oh, yeah.
Because the twist of this show is that Rita, instead of like the super big bad guy, like a character like Rita Repulsa, in this show, Rita Repulsa is an easy-to-please lolly.
Yeah, I like the premise of the show. The premise is very fun. But I also don't think the jokes are solid enough for me to continue.
I think that's less to do with the show and more of the studio not being quite up to snuff with the production.
Oh, yeah, this is another show that also looked... very not good, very ungoodified. I did not. It's another instance of me being like, okay, this looks terrible. Not gonna continue it. I feel like that's every show.
I wouldn't say that it looks terrible.
Okay, yeah, terrible is an exaggeration.
I like the. I don't want to say like the visual design overall, but the thing that stands out most is the wide array of monster people that they have on the board of directors who sign off on the monsters that they throw at the hero, the blader guy.
I don't really remember them too well, but I remember the
from the
like actual locale where like the sort of like monster was being pitched. I remember not really liking the design of the locale that much.
I think that this is gonna be a character that shows up in the show later, but in the opening, there's this big fat chicken that has a gun, and I just want to see where that shit goes.
I don't remember the OP at all.
I don't remember the song at all, but I remember that there's a big like fat chicken with like a green headband, like a Rambo headband, and a shotgun, I think.
I see Cannon Thunderbird on the characters list.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that one.
Got anything more to say?
Me neither.
There's not much to say about this one. I did like the one joke at the end where, hilariously, the scary like villains who are out to take over the world are more understanding and forgiving than real world business equivalents. And are like more willing to give them like paid day offs and deadline extensions. Whereas if that was like fucking Bezos, you'd be pissing in a bottle for the rest of your days.
I did indeed like that scene. He came off as very endearing in that scene. The guy who's like, take more break days.
He comes in and you think he's gonna like fucking kill him or something. But he's like, yeah, I've been keeping up with HR. I'm like, yeah, you guys haven't been taking your necessary, like your mandatory paid day offs. So taking over the world is our utmost priority, but we can't do that without without our workers having good health first. And the fact that like he is essentially the second in command to the Rita Repulsa lolly, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the show. But I mean, other than that, pretty decent time. I can imagine this show being like a 6 out of 10, but I don't think I'm gonna continue it.
It was just like kind of fun, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I would check out the second episode just to see if it gets any better. I wouldn't, much like Tokyo 24th Ward, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't end up continuing it. But it's got something, which is more than I can say for most shows this season.
It definitely has
something
a
to latch
pulse.
It exists.
In the ending credit sequence, apparently all of those Sentai characters that they referenced at the start of the show were real because they showed like real people in costumes with like the show's logos. So I guess they're real. I don't know shit about Sentai outside of Power Rangers and Kamen Rider.
I mean, I don't know shit about it in general.
I did notice that but the main hero character used an attack called Buster Blade, which all I could think about was Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's all where my thoughts end.
That is also
got
where
little
mine
to
ends.
say about it.
Yeah,
No.
just
I've got even
it exists.
I've got even less to say, and I'm sure you guys do too. We've got even less to say about Fantasia Sango, Realm of Legends.
Wait, let me just check, because at this point, all these names sound generic, and like, I blast through these a lot, don't make it to the end, so, let me just
I don't
pull it up.
remember
I
this
made it.
show. Wait.
I got 1 minute into the show and immediately turned on double speed.
Okay, so I remember about this show. I'm going through my memories because I remember so little. So I remember there was this exposition scene with sort of a scroll, and it was showing like pictures or something on the scroll, but it was like visually terrible. And exposition I immediately did not care about. Oh wait, okay, actually I remember a bit more. So it starts off, I have in my notes, alright, Strike 1, opening on a generic action sequence with no context so I don't care. Strike 2, immediately then pelting me with exposition about the politics of a kingdom I don't care about. Strike 3, there's so little animation I think the frames per second reached negative numbers. And that's where I dropped it.
You didn't mention the CG ghouls.
I don't think I
literally
got...
1 minute in.
Oh wait,
No, the CG
I don't
ghouls
remember
show up
that.
before the exposition dump.
I don't remember that at all. It's either I
Like,
was
it was like
so...
a purple ghost head.
I can't imagine not noticing it, but I also don't remember it. But then again, I remember
that.
it so...
I got that far. That looked hideous.
It was the only thing that stood out to me because as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, this show, I can tell this is beyond repair. So I just instantly turned on double speed, and then when I got to the 8-minute mark at that, I was like, man, even at double speed, the show fucking sucks. So I started skipping around.
This season's like, they all look so ugly. Did it look this ugly last season? I'm pretty sure it didn't.
It didn't look this
no, last
ugly
season we got fucking
season.
Komi-san, we got My Senpai is Annoying.
Alright, hold on. Just a quick side tangent. Neon, did you finish My Senpai is Annoying?
I did not finish it, but I'm going to. I definitely that one's going on the definite will finish list.
I have finished it. It
finished
is
it.
solid all the way through. Like solid,
Same.
like 9 out of
Yep.
10.
I've seen clips of it, and it does look like a Dogakobo W.
Massive W's, like so good.
Definitely up there.
Anyway, back to fucking this game. I looked it up. It's based on a Taiwanese RPG game series that, even though I've never heard of it, has been going on since 2003 on PC.
Damn, that's pretty old.
It's had its latest release, the 5th game in the series, Fantasia Sango 5 in 2018. So it's still pretty recent.
Mm.
And I could just like watching the characters like form what is essentially their party. I could like already imagine in my head, like, man, I'd rather just do this in the game where it's like properly paced and probably infinitely more fun.
I don't even remember what the characters look like, sound like, anything about their personalities.
There are literally only 2 characters that stood out to me, and only because I watched the show today. The fucking like I guess she's a goddess that recruits all these people and gets them into a team. She has like ridiculous fucking tits, and then the other one is and then the other one is a talking tea caddy, which is only relevant because it's a talking tea caddy. And that's it. That's literally where my notes end, except for one last note that I have where it just says the evil of the Wang Lang. Because the ghouls are called like Wangalangs or something. And
Was that in
maybe
the
it's, like,
exposition?
yeah, and they bring it up throughout the episode. Like maybe it's like a cultural thing, and maybe it sounds better in their language. It just sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
I like to take the piss out of them. I just call them Wang Langs.
All right. So something I've noticed with like this season in particular, because I had a lot of shows where like Tokyo 24th Ward, this one, I think there's another one, but like a lot of exposition very early on in a show about the politics of a kingdom I haven't yet had time to care about. And whenever I see that in a show, I notice that my brain hazes over and none of the information registers with me. I literally don't know what the exposition is about even in any of these shows. Aside from that, they were vaguely political and I didn't care.
The audience will have no frame of reference for this because it's in the Scrapped podcast, but remember how I was complaining about Tacked Up Destiny and how I was kind of getting tired of shows opening with exposition dumps and narrators instead of just like starting in the fucking world and letting the characters introduce the show? Having a fucking narrator tell us about it.
I'm now getting tired of it too. Except at least in Tacked Up Destiny, it was like a new mythical idea and not just like the
they were
border
talking
squabbles.
about like the mythology of the show and not like the politics of the kingdom.
It's not just it's a bit more interesting than just X kingdom you don't care about got into a war with Y kingdom Y kingdom you don't care about, and you know X kingdom won against Y kingdom, but Z kingdom then took that opportunity. I don't care. Shut up.
Yeah, that's where my thoughts begin and end with Fantasia Sango. It's just it's bad.
It is. Very agreed.
Let's just skip to the next one.
Yeah. This one, there's a little more passion pumped into this one because it's technically, if you want to be an asshole about it, this is not a winter 2022 show because it came out December 31st of last year.
Oh, let's see.
But I was so desperate for interesting things to talk about this season that I wanted to just slide it in. And I feel like it's worth talking about, if only for what it could represent for the future. This is Sorairo Utility.
I knew it was going to be Sorairo Utility the second you said it had passion behind it.
Yeah, because this is not a show. This is more of a short film. It was put on TV, but it's more of like an OVA.
Oh, I love this. This was fun.
It was definitely fun. I liked what I saw of it, and like if
oh wait, there's only one episode.
Out, like,
yeah, I thought this was like a series.
This is a one shot, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had it on paused, but I guess I'm putting it uncompleted now.
Yeah, you fucking watched all of it, bruh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
yeah, it was not bad.
Designed. This was directed. The character designs and the animation was directed by a Kengo Sato, who is a Trigger staffer, who I don't know if I imagine if he's starting this new studio, then he probably left Trigger. I'm sure he'll probably like come back. The last thing he worked on there was Promare.
Okay, when you said
but I'm-
Trigger, that immediately answered so many questions for me, because like I watched this show and just kept on thinking, this looks like Trigger, this looks like Trigger, and now it's finally coming to me.
Yeah, so this is his new studio that he's the big swinging dick around these parts. Yo Star Pictures, and this is he said in an interview that this is like the golf anime that he always wanted to make, and I can only imagine that he probably wanted to make a series out of it. But I think what this is like more of a, hey, we are Yo Star Pictures, and this is what this is like what represents us.
I guess on that level, I think it is like a good start for the studio, because the directing is very good. Like, I really enjoy so many of the shots in this show. Like, when Minami takes like that final swing towards the hole, like tries to get it in, and like the camera pans to where it's like sort of her silhouette against the background. That shot, that image is seared into my mind. That shot is so pleasant to look at.
The money shot of this anime is where she's like trying to get on the green for like the last time of the day, and she like, much like her friend did when she was golfing, it kind of goes into a bit of a grayscale to show like she's like hyper focusing, and then when she pulls back and she smacks the ball, there's like this little burst of a rainbow, and like there's a big flourish, and the colors like are like spring back into life.
Like, this is just a really well directed game of golf. I can't
that
say.
Being said, I gave it like a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, it's short and it's just a one shot, you know.
Yeah.
I do have my biggest issue with it is that that one shot is like, the animation all throughout isn't bad, but like for something that came from a dude who worked at Trigger, I was expecting something a little more. It kind of felt like it felt more like an animation student's final project rather than like a proper OVA.
Yeah, I sort of get that as well.
I definitely see that. I will say well, first of all, it's about as well animated as most shows were this season. But on top of that, it has like moments where it is very well animated, so that automatically puts it above like 90% of what came out this season. And then on top of that,
oh dude, the character designs are beautiful.
The character designs are amazing. The expressions the characters make are very lively and always fun to look at. The colors are generally nice, although the green of the grass does kind of sear my eyeballs a bit, but overall very very visually solid, just all around. So even if the animation can for the most part be a bit limited and like, okay, there's a bit to be desired here, but I mean overall it is a very pleasing to look at show.
What I like about the designs is that they're very much Trigger-esque, but they're comparatively simpler and restrained. The thing that stuck out to me most were thin outlines, and the outfits that they had on had bright colors, but their hair was like desaturated. Like their hair was not, and their eyes, I think the hair and eyes were not as poppy as the outfits, which allows them to, it's not a bad clash, but it's a nice contrast between what they're wearing and like what they look like, if that makes sense.
I really liked Minami's voice actor. For some reason, that stuck out to me. And
was Minami the blue-haired one? I couldn't commit the names to memory.
Miyu Takagi apparently voiced her, and she's done
no idea
a few, no big roles that I see, but like, a few characters from a few smaller shows.
The only thing that stuck out to me about Minami was how much she looked like Ichigo from Darling in the Franxx.
I have not seen Frank's.
Micah, did you watch Frank's?
Yeah, I did. Like,
Did she look like Ichigo?
I guess so.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't really.
It's the hair. It's the hair and the blue.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
The ugliest thing about the show is that the golf balls are CG, which like.
I mean, that's excusable. That's not that much of an issue.
That's
if you ask me.
fine. I'm willing
I
to
barely even
accept
notice it.
a little bit of CG, and that level of CG, I can be like, okay, that fine.
Yeah, like
I'll
you
accept.
barely
that.
even notice it unless you try to focus on it.
Well, they do put focus on the golf balls in some shots, so I can't help but notice it, and it looks ugly every time.
I guess so, but I don't know. It just didn't bother me at all.
There was this one really poor shot I noticed where they're driving, it's focusing on their golf bags and the club sticking out of the bags, and we can hear them rattling around, but we don't see them move. It's all like they're super glued together.
Okay.
I did find that really weird.
Yeah, I guess there are some few rough scenes, but I don't think it hurts it overall.
Well, like that's why I said it felt more like a student's final art project
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
an art school or an animation school rather than something like when you tell me that a Trigger staffer started his own studio and he made a 14-minute like golf OVA, I don't expect anything like to be like on the same level as like Kill la Kill or Promare, but at least something like I feel a little. Well, I guess I should say bad, but I genuinely think that Dress Up Darling and Akebi had better animation than this show.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. to
Well,
say.
yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that shouldn't be the case. I don't know what kind of budget they were working on there. I don't know how much money they got.
I mean,
over at
considering
Yostar.
this is just like a one-shot thing, like I'm pretty sure like it wasn't that heavily funded.
Well, you say that, but then remember Little Witch Academia? Not the movie. mind
The
you,
thing is, that's like the young animators project. This is more of like just a special thing. This doesn't even count.
Was the very first Little Witch Academia the young animator project?
Yeah, it is. That's why it looks so
Huh.
good.
Okay. Anime short films. Okay, yeah, it was. All right. And then the movie was kickstarted. Okay.
Mhm. Well, this is like its own like short thing, you know. So I don't think it's that fair to compare.
And it was made for TV instead of it being like released as an OVA and on like disc or a streaming service. So
Yeah.
I can imagine that they had deadlines to meet.
Exactly.
From the looks of what Yostar Pictures is working on, I think they're playing the fucking long game because their first TV series that they're gonna be doing is Arknights, which is the mobile game. And Arknights is one of those mobile games where it's one of the big gotchas where it's in the tier of I've heard of it, but it's not like it's not the biggest gotcha, but like it's one of those where it's just in that perfect sweet spot where like it has its own level of like whales that it can pull from. You know what I mean?
Yostar seems to be doing a lot of like OVAs and specials right now. They did Azure Lane Slow
Yeah.
Ahead, which is a TV short.
Yeah, they did a Azure Lane mobile game spin-off.
Yeah.
According to Mal, they helped Biebery Animation Studios work on Azure Lane. And it looks like they also make ads for other mobile games. Like there's this one for Arknights' 1-year anniversary, an animated short, Azure Lane animated short spin-off. They're playing the fucking long game. They're making that mobile game adaptation money, and then they're probably gonna make something big and impressive.
So basically, just like a
Well, we can
like
hope.
those kind of investments. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If that's how you're gonna make your money, more power to you. As long as like what we get, if we can get something with like clearly there was heart put into Sorairo Utility, and I would love to see a series based off this. Like I'm imagining in my mind Sorairo Utility if it were like done by Oh my god, what? Okay, maybe it's because it's 12:30 in the morning, but I'm blanking on his name, and that's a sin. Imaishi.
Yeah.
If I imagine Imaishi directing this and how good it would look if it was done in-house at Trigger, I'd blow my fucking balls off, dude.
Like, even in the very short time the special had to characterize everyone, I still found myself more endeared to Minami than, like, most characters this season. I mean, partially because I just love her voice actor so much. And also because I love her design so much. But also because, you know, she's sort of like this underdog, not nearly as good as golf, at golf as everyone else, but, you know, still trying her hardest. And, like, I don't know, something about her personality also that's, like, it's hard to put into words, but she just feels like a character with a lot of potential, and I want more screen time given to her to fulfill that potential.
I also appreciate how it ends in a bath scene, because of course it has to. Hey man, whatever you gotta do to sell those body pillows, sell those
Obviously,
figurines.
you gotta make the money, you know, to recoup the costs.
I mean, I think Minami's cute. I'd buy some.
I mean,
merchandise
I
of her.
wasn't complaining about their designs. I was just saying, like, man, isn't it funny how like this? You would think that cute girls doing golf would be like free from sex appeal outside of maybe like if you find their outfits cute or sexy, but like that could be more like of an interpretation thing. You put them in a fucking bath, like that's just sex appeal. And like not that I'm complaining, but you know, if there's some merch to be sold, I guess that's one way to move units.
One thing I will say is that a part of me wishes the entire show looked like the first 20 seconds or so, where like it has this sort of like super thin, wispy, painterly aesthetic for the sort of like intro hook of the show.
Yeah.
I thought that part looked really nice.
So I think that's it. That's all the shows.
Not all the shows.
We've got a few left. We got 3 shows left, and now we're gonna go from passion placed in something.
Wait, we have
that
3. We have 3 shows left.
Yes. Wait, let me count correctly. 1, 2. Yes, 3 shows left. But we're gonna.
Did
crack
I
through them real
miss?
fast.
Did I miss a show? Because I only have 2.
I guess you might have. Maybe if I transition into it, you'll remember it. So we're gonna go from one end of the spectrum to the other. A show that had, that clearly had passion put into it, and the end product, it could have been better, but what we got is something to be grateful for. Whereas, in the opposite direction, we see passion placed into something that was unfortunately doomed from concept. I'm talking about motherfucking X-Arm 2, baby. Rusted armors.
Okay, I dropped this 2 minutes in. I have nothing to say. It looked god-awful. I couldn't stand it.
I dropped it around halfway through episode 1. The CGI is terrible. Let's just get that out of the way.
First episode. Yeah, it's not good. It's immediately its problem is that it's trying too hard. Like what was awesome about X-Arm is that it was I would put X-Arm in so bad it's good, because like if anyone scores X-Arm using anything but the negative number scale where you rank it based on like ironic enjoyment, like if you're giving X-Arm like a 2 out of 10, you're doing it fucking wrong. That show's like a fucking -7, bro. And the problem with Rusted Armors is that I can see ideas that are actually trying to be cool, mainly in the very weirdly Ruby-esque emphasis on the gun weapons. I don't know how far you made it into the episode, Micah, but did you notice that like the main character dudes, their weapons are literally prototype Ruby weapons. They're just like sword plus gun.
That's. I think I did remember something like that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, one dude's got like a sword you don't remember the fucking guns? One of them literally has a fucking Gatling gun for an arm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never
Well,
mind.
to be fair, the second I saw
saw-
the visuals, I knew I would drop it and just kind of spaced out. So,
I mean, I
Yeah,
realized
I'm
it's
not
halfway
continuing this
through.
show.
Like, I wasn't even looking at the screen anymore, so I just turned it off.
Yeah, the animation's bad.
The
It looks like a
backgrounds are just
pre-season 1
silhouette.
Ruby. All right, like the backgrounds are 2D. Like at least even fucking X-Arm got this one right. Like the backgrounds are 3D along with the characters. I don't know how this is also by a new studio, by the way, Studio Kigumi.
wow, I wonder how long
But,
this studio will last.
Not very by the looks of it. Apparently, based on the end credit scene where that has the voice actors like show up on like video, this is based on a stage production. And from the clips that they show of the stage production with like the costumes and shit, I'd rather be watching that.
Rusted Armors has a
And they,
30% on AniList.
Yeah, it's got like a 3.4 on Mal, and Mal fans do not just hand that shit out. Like you have to
Yeah,
try
wow, that
to
is
get
really
those
low.
scores. You have to try to get below a 6 on Mal. Cause like Mal fans have 3 settings. They usually put the not so great shows in the 6 range. They put with like the occasional outlier. They'll put the generally liked shows in the 7 range. That's where like you can get a pretty even mix of bland and actually good shows. And then usually the 8 once you hit the 8 threshold, very rare it's gonna like be the 6 threshold, but in the opposite direction where it's mostly good shit with the occasional outlier. And like everything with a 9, like you have to try to get a 9 on Mal.
Yeah.
You also have to try to get an 8, I guess, but like you don't have to try as hard.
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
some
some bad
shit
shows get an 8.
before.
Cough, Shield
Yeah, but,
Hero,
like,
cough.
Lower than 6, higher than 9. If like once you're in those thresholds, you have to try in one way or the other.
I'm trying to remember anything about this show. I just remember a bunch of generic dudes who were copy pasted. It was the same model over and over again, and they get beat up by all of these sort of like, I guess they're supposed to be like charming and fun dudes, and you're supposed to like see how powerful they are. One of them is
They're supposed to be Ruby ninjas.
one of them dresses as a woman and I think is supposed to be transgender, but I'm not sure because I dropped it in like 2 nanoseconds. I don't remember any of the other characters.
Get canceled for misgendering. Yeah, they're not very memorable. I struggled to think of anything to say about the show outside of the horrendously bad animation.
I feel like
it's one step up from X-Arm, which I think makes it less interesting because X-Arm is like car crash fascinating. Like you have to wonder how many people had to have said yes to all of these blatantly bad ideas for this to happen, and like you can laugh at that. Whereas this one, you can kind of do the same, but not nearly to the same extent. Like, there are moments in X-Arm which will have you clutching your sides and be like, how the fuck did this get made? This got approved by, like, a committee.
I haven't
Whereas
seen
this, you can see,
X-Arm,
like-
so I can't vouch, but yeah.
Oh, you're missing out, my friend. Yeah, the people get hit with swords in this show, and they just pass right through instead of actually, like, slicing and affecting their models, and they just fall over.
I don't know. I feel like once I see bad visuals in a show, my brain just kind of hazes over because I already know, right? I'm not continuing this. It looks bad. And so I feel like any continued watching after that point is just to say I watched a requisite number of minutes to say I have given it a chance, or at least a semblance of a chance. I don't know.
Yeah,
This was
any
bad.
CG anime show that looks worse than Season 1 Ruby, which has aged really poorly. Because at least Season 1 of Ruby still has really good choreography and music. And it's just like the writing was kind of always shit. and some of the animation you can see very clearly where the amateurs had to take shortcuts, like the disappearing cookies and the janky ass run cycles. But at least the action scenes hold up, even when you compare it to the vast improvements that the show's made as it's gone along in like the later seasons. So if you're a professional studio, or at least claim to be, and you're putting out something worse than what an internet team made, you just kind of
Don't quit your day job.
embarrassing. The only thing that I noted about this show was that I thought to myself, man, this would make for a cool like Muso or Warriors type of game, cause like going around with these gun swords and fighting all these like dudes in armor on like the fucking in a warrior style combat situation. I can imagine all these special moves with their gun swords. That's it. That's what I came in mind.
We've already just completely ran out of anything to say.
I mean, I think it's both the combination of like this being like the leftover, like a few shows left, and the fact it's this late.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's only 2 shows left, and we're gonna blaze through this one as fast as it came and went. Irodorimidori.
Let's see.
What
All these names sound the same. I have
is
to Google
that?
them first.
Irodorimidori.
Did either of you watch this? Alright, in that case, I'll go ahead. It's a 3-minute idol show based on what I guess is a mobile game, but I couldn't be fucked to look it up because I just don't care enough. They come together in a class to start a band, and you know what? It's better than K-On!, if I'm being honest.
It's better than K-On! I will kill you. I will. I will.
No, I can't even ironically say that.
Let's see here.
Literally the only thing of note that I wrote down was that there's a white-haired girl that looks like Chirno or Cerno from Toho.
This was whatever.
That's
It
it.
was 3 minutes. It was like I just watched one episode of it. It's like, ooh, yeah.
There were some admittedly cute designs, but that's how it starts, and the next thing you know, you're fucking pumping money
You know
into an
what?
idle gacha game with
Let,
something.
let me say something. The fact that it's 4 minutes makes it way better than a lot of these shows. Simply by the fact that it didn't waste my time as hard.
Yeah, but it's also hilariously by that metric, I feel like it's gonna be the kind of show where I wake up tomorrow and be like, I'll remember the least from it.
I
Because
mean,
at least I can
Yeah.
kind
You're
of
not wrong.
remember how bad Rusted Armors is.
I don't know. I'd rather this that doesn't waste my time than like trying to put 20 minutes of vile garbage.
Well, it sounds like Crunchy, did you watch Irodorimidori at all?
I did not watch Irodorimidori. I'm not sure why.
well-
why I didn't. Guess I just didn't see it or didn't have it on
maybe
my
your
list.
brain, maybe your consciousness registered it as an idol show, and you like it just like pushed it out of your mind.
You know, they do say that the brain represses traumatic memories.
Don't worry, the last show in this podcast will be even shorter. I'm Kodama Kawashiri.
Let's see. God,
It's
I can't
2.5
remember.
minutes, and 1.5 of those minutes is dedicated to the opening.
There's more OP
So-
than actual show. That was surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
I
I
know
laughed
short
at a
anime
joke here.
exists. I
know-
I honestly think this is better than most shows this season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so this is an adaptation of a manga, and I'm actually kind of interested in reading the manga because it's basically this like character who feels like a self-insert for the author. No, I think
I think it just is
Yeah.
the author.
yeah, just the author speaking. And I like the personality of the show. It's kind of ugly, which is why I want to read the manga instead. But I mean, I like the
kind of really
personality.
like the style of it. I like the voice actor does her own sound effects for when she's walking in.
Oh,
Oh, you suicided there for a second.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Alright, I like that the voice actor does her own sound effects. I like that. I like the humor of the show. I feel like there's a sort of like a depressing irony to what they're calling it. They're saying it's the show about the life of a dangerous life hacker, but then so your mind thinks, oh, is the show gonna teach us like some life tips about how to like take a few shortcuts to make life a little less stressful, a little easier. And then you watch the show and it's like, I eat greasy food, I wash it down with alcohol, I sleep a lot immediately afterwards, I eat so much in the morning that I feel like I ate too much and I have to go to sleep, and then I wake up, realize it's night, realize I missed lunch, have to eat, realize I eat too much, go to sleep, wake up, the cycle repeats itself. And I'm like, that's a little too real.
It's a likable show. It's a likable show.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like how real it is. It's definitely coming from a place of, yeah, I've definitely been there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's coming from a place of experience.
I've been looking at the studio that made it, Lapin Track, and it seems like they got
is like an offshoot of Mappa. Because I feel like they only if they're not working on shows for themselves, they're like exclusively working on Mappa shows.
Or maybe some try to
they've
run away and
actually-
start their own studio.
It looks like they got their start on the Wodakoi OVA, which, I mean, you know how I feel about Wodakoi.
I don't.
It looks like they go even further back than that. They worked with Silverlink to make the Yuri Kuma Arashi show, which I think is by fucking Ikuhara.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
they
guess
also
the
worked on-
Annie List entry is incomplete then, because it only goes back to 2019.
The Virgin Annie List versus the Chad Mal.
Calling Mal Chad is a huge mistake.
Mal's my go-to anime tool of choice.
Mal's
wish
just
every
better
form
for
of-
like statistics, if you ask me, because more people use it, so you're
Well,
gonna get
yeah.
more reliable, quote unquote reliable statistics.
It's better for statistics, but Annie List is a better site.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see, they worked on that show. They helped Mappa do Sarazanmai. They did the Wodakoi OVA, like you said. They worked on Uchitama from 2020. They're apparently working with Brainspace to do a compilation of Penguin Drum, including new scenes, which is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And fucking Endride from 2016 with Brainspace.
Oh, that was shit. Oh well.
And that looks like that's all they've done.
Well, I guess this is their first
this is
good
the best-
show.
And it looks like this is their first solo show.
Oh, that's a decent
And-
start then. It's a decent start.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better than fucking raising the kingdom out of debt. Or fucking strongest sage, weakest crest.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I'm a big soft spot of like the Adult Swim brand of like experimental weird animation, and I'm happy when shit like Smiling Friends makes it into like the good graces of the cultural zeitgeist, where it's like it's that kind of the animation is not the best. Well, not there's good animation Smiling Friends. They say like it's the kind of like
It's
where
unorthodox.
it looks like it's unorthodox. It's weird. I like weird shit, and this is weird shit. It's like shit like Pop Team Epic. I live for that shit.
Yeah, like you got like it's these kind of shows that you want to see thrive, you know?
Yeah, because like they're able. It seems like they're the ones that are able to experiment the most and do like some crazy weird shit. I do wish that these episodes didn't have full openings that took up
Yeah, I don't
one
see
half
the
of the
point of
runtime.
I don't get the point of that at all.
It should have had a
like,
a
there
short
was
opening, like 40 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a 30-second opening, and then an episode could be 2 minutes long. Which, if anything, is a compliment, because I just want to see more about this depressed punk girl who draws anime, eats greasy food, and washes it down with alcohol, aka the ideal woman.
I think
Might
that's
read the
all.
manga.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. I genuinely thought she wasn't a author self-insert at first. I thought she was like a female kappa, because she wears like a green lid on her head and wears a What I thought was either her like an actual Kappa shell, or it was like a backpack in the shape and style of a
mean,
Kappa shell.
I'm pretty sure a lot of anime designs kind of have that. Like, I can't name any right now, but I remember there's another like other shows where like they just have that Kappa thing for no reason, and it's never explained.
I don't know. But yeah, Kodama is relatable, sadly, and it's that brand of Adult Swim weird that I love to see.
It's
That's
a show you want
all.
to see succeed.
Yeah. It could absolutely not work at all in a typical 24-minute format.
Oh yeah,
That's what
like,
the existence of the 2-minute show is for, of the short.
Yeah, if this was
I
24
enjoy
minutes, it'd
fucking
be-
Ganbare. I enjoyed fucking Ganbare Doki-chan last season more than most shows from this season.
I'm pretty sure even a mediocre show from the previous season is like way better than most of the shows this season.
Oh, for sure. This season, massive sleeper. Like, I mean, granted, I haven't seen the second block yet, or at least most of it. I have seen one show, and I was very impressed with it. But of all the shows I've seen so far, I'd say overall the median quality is very low.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like maybe this is just like a throwaway season for Japan. Like, oh, it's the end of the fiscal year. Might as well just put whatever's on the board. Let's just focus like at the start of the next fiscal year. That kind of deal. I don't know.
Howdy doody fellas, Neon from the future here. This podcast is going on for too dang long, so we had to split it up into 2 parts. Second part will be out next week, so be sure to tune back in for the next part of the Winter 2022 seasonal podcast for Castaway Anime. I'm NeonManta, and you'll see us next time.